Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another thrilling tale of Tea Time with Barry and Larry as they sail the seas of Sodomese with their new aliases, Barry and Larry. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of good things. I had a few great realizations, some funny stuff, some intense stuff, and a quick tour of Must Be Nice Farms. I've named my new farm. It's called Must Be Nice Farms. So as you guys file in, which I'm very... Oh, another thing I want to talk about is Hollywood has whitewashed another film. But, all right, as you guys come in, this is what the greenhouse has been looking like lately. All right, enjoy. It's Must Be Nice Farms.
This is still over there.
I know what you want to show the people. You want to show the people the strawberries.
Yeah, and this is right here, and looks like and this is carrots, and this is gonna be orange because I see orange right there.
That's right. So it's a carrot.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. This is everybody's favorite spot.
And these are strawberries. These are more strawberries. And
Want to pick Daddy a big red ripe strawberry?
so
Thanks, buddy. That's a good one. If you guys want a super chat,
Pick yourself one too.
entropystream.live/Owen Benjamin Comedy.
There's one right there. Beautiful. I'll be eating that one. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
And we want some fresh air in here, so that's why this is here.
Yeah, because we wanted fresh air and we wanted to let in pollinators, huh?
Yeah,
Hey, show the people the potatoes and the tomatoes.
okay.
These are all the potatoes right here.
Yeah, and there's
Mountain Bear is going to be grabbling for those, aren't? Isn't he, Mountain Bear?
Potatoes. Irish people.
some more potatoes.
What about these tomato plants? These look cool.
Yeah, but these look kind of sad because it's
Well, they just got planted. Show me the ones that we planted from seed this winter over here.
right here.
No, the big boys over there.
Oh, I see.
You see them, yeah.
So we have this one, and these are in wood.
Yeah, we already started to see the tomatoes. These right here, by the way, I'm going to talk to the people for a second. Those right there are the ones that I planted by seed in the attic all winter. Remember all winter when I had that light behind me? Those were seeds that now became these were those seeds, guys. And every single tomato in here can make more than all of these combined. One tomato can make all of that.
Might be nice.
And so here we have peas, and then the beans over here, legumes are, hey, Charlie got a strawberry.
Might be
Charlie got a
nice.
strawberry.
Might be nice to get strawberry.
Yeah, of course. Keep talking, buddy.
So this is watermelon.
Might be nice to tease polar bear.
This is just stuff that I like, and
Might be nice to like something.
over here
Oh, I think there's a wolf. Oh, just George.
Might be nice to have a dog named George.
right here is lettuce, I think.
That's right.
Might be
Good
nice to
job.
be able to identify
Good job,
where it is.
everybody.
And
Charlie's eating all the strawberries.
Might be nice to have your own
Is he a strawberry
patch.
patch kid?
and
Is Charlie a strawberry patch kid?
I love this because
Might be nice to have an innocent smile of a
Eat
child.
some. Good boy. How do you feel? You feel healthy today? You feel strong and fast?
yeah.
Of course. You help Daddy. Tell the people about the worms you found today while Daddy was digging.
Okay.
Let's go.
Might be nice to be able to just go. Might be nice to have no chemtrails in the sky.
Hey, Smiling Jack. What's up, Jackie boy?
Might be nice to be smiling, Jack.
Hi, Jack. Are you having a nice day, Jackie boy? Are you having a nice day, Jackie?
I don't have any night days.
All right.
Might be nice.
This is really found all the worms.
Found a lot of worms, didn't you?
Yeah, so let's see.
So these all came from seed, huh, love?
Yep, they grew really fast too.
These are all non-GMO corn.
Yep.
Because it's not the corn that's bad, it's the GMO.
Charlie found a carrot.
Charlie found a carrot.
Might be
Charlie,
nice to
bring it
find a
over.
carrot. Might be nice to
Charlie,
have
bring it
beta
over. Can Dad have the
carotene.
carrot? Come on, bring it over. I'll split it with you, pal.
He needs you to hose it off.
Might
Thanks,
be,
pal. You want to have some of this with me?
might be nice to
Yeah.
split a carrot.
Yeah? Let me get the dirt off it. 1 second. Do, 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 do.
Might be nice.
There's a
Might be nice to be able to hum and sing a song when you wash your carrot.
I'll be right back, Wall.
Might be nice to be able to walk on your...
Go ahead and say it. Might be nice.
How do you know I was saying it?
Yeah, a second.
How do you know? Can you hear me?
How do I do this one-handed? All right, that should work. I know you want to say it, guys. Might be nice.
How do you know? That must be so nice. That must be so nice. Oh, Jesus. How
Might
do
be
you know?
nice.
Now you're mocking me.
Hey, buddy, have a bite of this.
Now I don't even
Bye-bye.
want to say it.
Try to have a bite.
Now I don't even want to say it must be nice.
Here you go.
Because I know you know I say it.
There you go. Good boy. Must be nice.
How did you know? I
Yeah,
hate
go
you,
on,
Owen
buddy.
Benjamin.
So, this is,
I want you to get kicked off every platform
Yeah.
now that I know you know me in my mind.
this is from a smoke ant.
Might be,
It's from a slug or an ant.
might be nice.
Yeah, because smoke
George is having some carrot, too.
Might be nice to be George having carrots. Might be nice.
because you know.
It's a plane, Charlie.
Charlie just spotted his first chemtrail. He's now a truther.
Good work, everybody. All right, that's all I wanted to do. I just want to show everybody our progress.
All right. That was a good time. Might be nice.
Yeah, our house is getting built. And I got to...
All right. Because that was my job on all that was I dug out the sod for about 10 by 20 for all that corn. And so I was doing that with a pickaxe all day. And then I had to, for the Must Be Nice guys, like I just shovel out chicken manure all like for hours and then stack it up. And then there was one of the chickens could barely walk. She got so fat. So I made her into that. I'm still not eating meat yet. I'm still on my cleanse. And I had a massive realization about food too. I'll tell you guys that in a second. But that was a 9-pound chicken. So sometimes you just have to slaughter them, you know, before they just die. Because some of these, the Cornish cross, they get so big. Like the laying hens don't ever get this big. Some, I guess, do. Like the naked necks, which is a Romanian crossbreed, where they can function as a laying hen or a meat hen. But they get so big they can barely walk. And if you don't slaughter them, they literally just, like one of them recently died. It appears like it had a heart attack eating. Like her face was almost in the feeder, just like, someone kill me. So when I go back to eating food, that will be, or go back to eating meat, that will be my first meal, I think. And send me videos showing me your Bertaria in your place, wherever you are, like your garden, what you're working on. Anything you want to say that's going to go into this documentary Building Bertaria, you can send videos to whydidn'ttheylaugh@gmail.com. And if you are a donor, you sign up at bertaria.io. And also, the first invites went out yesterday, so definitely check your emails. All right, first super chat. Thank you very much from Landon. Farmer Bear, not Farmer Bear. Framer Bear, not Farmer Bear. Thanks. Can I be verified? Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Framer Bear. Great skill to have, because we're about to start building a bunch of cabins in Ursa Rio, and very, very exciting stuff. A lot of, I'm a little not nervous, but the undertaking is huge. We're going to be like pulling water out of the river all day long, just bucket after bucket, to mix concrete by hand, because we're doing like concrete slabs and these big footers and all this stuff. And I don't know if you guys can see, 1 second. See all that cordwood there? We're doing cordwood walls. So we're doing mortar, and then around it, so we're doing 8-inch pieces of cordwood, and then the mortar goes around it, so it's going to look really cool, and it's also going to save a little money on building materials. So that's kind of the design. Frontlines Jack Bear is crushing. His job up here is to be an architect to cabins, so he's our personal Bertarian architect, and we're happy to have him. I met the director, Adam, last night, who's an awesome guy. Came over for a bit. We chatted. And, very, very accomplished guy in Los Angeles and in the film industry, but had a similar awakening to myself and has been a bear for 5 years now. And so absolutely crushing. Got some acreage in Riverside. And so he's going to be shooting Building Bertaria. So, yeah. But Bertaria isn't everybody. It's not a place. Like, what we're doing with Ursa Rio isn't the be-all, end-all of Bertaria. Wherever you are is Bertaria. And I know most of you guys get that idea, but that's what a lot of this documentary is going to be about. It's going to be about the seeds, and the what now is a major question that we're asking for the doc, where a lot of us had our eyes opened and our hearts opened in the last 5 years to a lot of truth in the world. And the question is, what now? What do? You just keep talking about it. You just keep saying, oh, don't you know that these people are doing this thing? It's like, yeah, I know. So what now? And so the what now is to build, is to grow, is to crush. And family is wealth is a big theme. And so wherever I lay my ladle, I love that. So, yeah, if you're a part of the build, I'm really looking forward to hanging with you, and thanks for the help, and it's going to be a fun time. Jim Bob's coming in. A lot of legends are coming in. And, yeah, we're going to make it happen. So I don't know what the schedule is going to be this week as far as live streams, because Kyneton is driving 40 hours to come up here, which is amazing. And, and the name of the doc can be called The Seeds of Bertaria. That's a good one. We like Building Bertaria, because that's going to be like the main thing, is like actually building this stuff. And for anybody that's done concrete, to do all this by hand is going to be intense. So, yeah. All right. So if you want a super chat, me and Coddington, we split them, and I'm sure he will be very grateful to get some gas money at entropystream.live/app/Owen Benjamin Comedy. And as always, P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho 83864. All right, so here was one of my realizations I had yesterday while I was doing a lot of manual labor about both the firmament and food. So this is only a minute long. So check this out. Let me know what you guys think in the chat.
All right, I have a lot of epiphanies when I do yard work. Here's two. God's promise to never flood the world again is the rainbow. The rainbow is the arc which shows the shape of the firmament. What if God put a barrier between the waters above and the waters below? And the proof of that is the rainbow. The rainbow lets you know that there is a curved structure up there to keep the waters back. Number two, I think most people should get their calories from eggs, meat, milk, honey, and veggies and fruit are for medicinal. The Garden of Eden was the medicine, and the medical staff is a snake. So modern medicine, the allure of the snake gets you out of the garden. I think just nibbling on veggies and fruits all day is where you get your medicine and you get your calories from meat or milk, eggs. Much love.
All right, so yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's pretty hard to get all your calories from veggies and fruit. I've been doing that for a few weeks now. I had a little of my wife's homemade cheese yesterday, but because I'm going through like a healing process. Like I'm trying to get down the inflammation, get as healthy as I can. And, I'm eating like 4 pounds of potatoes a day to try and get in my calories because I'm also not having like nuts or fat like avocado. And I feel amazing, but I don't think long term it's the way to get all your calories. Hang on, let me read this entropy and then I'll keep going with this thought. So you just slaughter anything that can't walk? Oh, gee, they're coming to get me from Paraplegic Bear. Yeah, I mean you're a meat bird, Paraplegic. Anyway, so I had this like crazy breakthrough yesterday after talking to Tom Barnett. You can go watch that at unauthorized.tv or bitchute.com/Owen Benjamin or Telegram or Rumble or Odyssey or any of the mirror channels on YouTube that are still up. But great conversation. He was talking about how plants are medicine and that he hasn't eaten meat in a couple months. And it really hit me because he's real into raw meat, uncooked, saturated fat and stuff. It's really healthy stuff. Same with raw milk and all that. But I also have been going through this weird feeling lately where I didn't want anything heavy. I wanted like peas and kale and spinach and berries and all this stuff. And I think that like the way we're supposed to eat goes with the sky clock. There's the blood moon. The blood moon, you got the harvest moon, the blood moon. So the harvest moon comes in the spring, I believe. I can't remember. Can someone let me know? I think it's like, I can't remember the month. It's either summer or spring. But it's like, I think we're supposed to eat seasonally. So we start eating. The chat with Tom was awesome, baby. Oh, he's such the man. So Mountain Bear even texted me. He's like, so much mutual respect between you two. And he was like, even the super chats were awesome. He was like, there wasn't 1 ounce of gamma tendency. Harvest October, blood December. That might be it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the harvest moon, but blood moon makes sense. Okay, so all spring you're eating like leafy stuff and dandelions that pop up everywhere, and eggs, honey, milk, all this stuff. And then you're on this like cycle of when the animals calve. And then you hit October, and that's when you harvest all your grass and hay for the winter, and you store it in your barn. And then the blood moon in December is when you slaughter animals and salt them. You don't even need to cook them. You can just salt them, or if you can't eat them right away. And I think that our bodies have a cycle of when we want to eat meat and when we want to be almost vegetarian. Like right now, I'm totally vegetarian. But even though if I wasn't doing this cleansing type thing, I would still be drinking raw milk and eating eggs. I think that's a year-long thing. But meat, I think that heavy meat is it's like keeps you through the dark times of the winter and all that. And then also, I think your body wants meat when you hunt. I think like if a group of men go out and slaughter, hunt like an elk or a deer or something, I think that when you eat it fresh, when you're like hunting, I think that makes your body feel good. But when you're constantly just pounding meat, especially the processed meat, all year round, I think it's kind of bad for you. All right, you can cure meat by hanging it in a cold, airtight room. Yeah, I'm getting so into how this all works because the animals all calve in the spring because that's how you get all your milk, because they have to you can milk them for a few years without them calving, but to get the most amount of milk, like right after a Jersey cow calves, you're getting 8 gallons a day, each cow. And so I think in that time, the calf is having some milk, you're milking the cow, Everybody's crushing. And then that milk, you're getting so much that your wives and daughters are making cheese, making, yogurts, making fermented stuff that can last all year because you're getting so much milk. And like, I'm totally seeing the natural cycle now. It's wild, dude. And so, and I think the greenhouse is your medicine. It's like, that's your medical tent almost. And so, the raw dairy is being, turned into cheddar that can age for years and all this stuff. And you're also just always having the raw milk. And so you're always going to have more calves than you can feed, so if every one of your female animals has a calf, half are going to be males. The wethers, which are a castrated male, you just wrap a rubber band around their balls and they don't seem to even notice. It's hilarious. But they can be buddies or they can be there, to hang out. But the population gets crazy. So you're going to want to eat some of those. And I think the slaughtering time is the winter. So you store all these, like all the root vegetables and stuff like that, the cheeses, the fruit come in the fall, like the apples and stuff, you eat them. But then you also ferment them into like ales and ciders and stuff. And you can can them and you can do fermenting stuff like the fermented cabbage, like kimchi and all that. And so then by December, you start getting hungry because your spring and summer diet is starting to die. Not starting to die, it's like gone. And so then a lot of those animals that you've kept alive to get the milk, slaughter them and then cure the meat. That can last you through the year. And this is so natural. And so when you see how your body reacts to this, like in the spring, I don't want to eat meat. Like I don't feel like eating a lot of meat. Like right now, like in May in Idaho, I'm like in my greenhouse because I don't think you can, I'm sure some can do it. I have buddies that can do it probably, but you can't really feed a bunch of families with just veggies and fruit. Like one of my goals is to be able to feed, I don't know, like 10 families if there is some sort of economic collapse. Like my buddy Brandon and my buddy Cody and Corey and all these guys that live around me, that if there was an economic collapse, I can provide a lot of food for everybody. And even with my giant greenhouse, I don't see that as possible with just that. I think the eggs and the milk are really crucial. Because the amount of calories, protein, fat, like just the amount of sustenance you get from one egg and 1 cup of raw milk is mind-blowing. And so when you have grasses, I totally see the cycle now. So the greenhouse is crucial for health. So spring, summer, fall, you're just constantly going in there and having fresh greens, making salads, which accompanies animal products. And yeah, potatoes are good. Potatoes have good calories, but it's like if you're not getting, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. Like there's dudes that can totally be vegetarian or vegan and it's feels very natural to them. A lot of them are smaller. A 6'8" Northern European like me or Northern American. I don't know the history. I don't even know our history. I don't know if my family's always been in America. Oh, how dare you? Ellis Island. You don't know. No one knows. We could have been Tartarians. I don't know what the hell it was, but I'm like a Northern heritage, very, very large person. Fish is great. Yeah, we're trying to get into that. We live like right next to Pend Oreille Lake, so we're going to get into fish, but I see it. And so then it dawned on me, based on what Tom was saying and just my experience, that like, the veggies and the fruit is like medicine, because I've never met a giant vegan. In fact, yeah, me neither. I don't know. I don't want to debate people, but about veganism, because there's no morality in veganism. There is health to it for periods of time. I went vegan for 3 months once and I didn't really lose weight. It's not about losing or gaining weight. It's about inflammation and health. Like black seeds, the cumin, that's like medicine all over the Middle East. Crow just had a guy on who had what appeared to be COVID-19, and there is something going around. No, I wouldn't call it going around. I'm a total terrain theory guy. So either he ingested something or was exposed to some sort of radiation or something. I don't know what causes it, but, he had neurological problems, couldn't recognize his kids, had a really hard time breathing, couldn't breathe or taste. And there was something going around this year that was kind of extreme, and I have some theories as to how you get it, but you don't get it from like other people. And, he was taking like prednisone and all this stuff to lower inflammation, because all disease is inflammation. But the thing that worked the best is black seed, the cumin oil, which Muslims see as like the medicine of all medicines. In the Quran, it says that black seed will cure just about everything. And because disease is caused by inflammation, whether it's cancer, diabetes, everything is inflammation. And so heart attacks, all of it. Seed of color, it's hilarious. So that's just what I wanted to talk about a little bit. So, and then the rainbow gravy I thought was interesting because the rainbow is showing you the curve of the sky. And you need different mediums to make a rainbow. Like you need like I don't know what they're called, like a medium, like air and water, like I don't know. I don't want to get into it right now. I'll do a whole stream on it. Cumin and black pepper is a Buick moon nuke to disease. Yeah, totally. Coconut oil has huge healing properties as well. Yeah, and so I think like just like with right and left wing stuff, where you have this fractured way of looking at the world, where you have to look at it this way or this way. And just like male, female, masculine, feminine, where you either want to protect everybody and make everyone equal, or you're like a brutal warlord type, where it's like only like the Genghis Khan myth or whatever, where only the super duper strong can survive. But together is the family unit, where you want the woman to, provide for all the kids and treat them all pretty much the same, and then the man to push them and to make them great. And so it's like that with veganism and the all meat diet balance too, where it's like there's been a lot of lies about meat, about how you have to cook it, about how it's cholesterol is bad for you, which it is not. It's essential. How there's cruelty to this, to animal husbandry. There's no cruelty to this. The entire species of like Jersey cow wouldn't exist if people didn't drink milk. There'd be no use for them. They'd go extinct. Same with chickens. It's like the chickens aren't, the entire chicken population is based around, eggs. I believe in like treating them well, give them a great life, but it's like, veganism is a lot easier to maintain, in my opinion. Yeah, I think you can be very healthy and a vegetarian. I think it's hard to be really healthy and a vegan, or really healthy and only eat meat, like the Peterson family of ghouls. I think that the balance between like really dialing into herbs and veggies and organic farming and non-GMO farming and all this, and fruits and berries and all that, I think that's your medicine. I think that's the Garden of Eden. And I think there's an actual Garden of Eden and the serpent, the biblical serpent and all that, but I think it's all fractal, where it's like that, the medical symbol is literally a snake going up a staff. And so the snake pulls you out of Eden, because every disease has a natural remedy that's like veggies, berries, nuts, herbs, dandelions. Carnivore diet is one step away from cannibalism, vampirism. Well, I think a lot of the carnivore diet is an overreaction to cunty vegans. And I think cunty vegans are an overreaction to factory farming, where the animals live like horrible, disgusting lives, and the meat is really, really bad for you, especially when you eat it all year. Just like you just pound pork and shit that you get from like McDonald's. Like that's so disgusting. Like the meat pastes and, Taco Bell, like that's like horror. So they're reacting to that like, okay, no meat. We will not have any animals suffer, all this bullshit. The fact they don't eat eggs is insane. It means most of them have no idea what they're talking about. Where it's like, oh, but you're eating the unborn baby of the chicken. Okay, for anybody that's ever actually lived a natural life, which zero vegans that would say something like that have lived a natural life. I understand not eating flesh, but eggs and milk, that's preposterous. Every chicken lays an egg every day. So you think every single one becomes a chicken? Like, really? So you think that one chicken would make like around 300 other chickens every year? Do you think that that would be at all sustainable for any homesteader? You know, that's just crazy. And same with milk, where it's like, the milk is coming from the calf's mouth, and without the milk, okay, without the desire for milk, there's no Jersey cows. They're not having calves. They're all dead. And they produce so much more milk than one calf would ever need. You can have a cow and milking her calf without any problem and get gallons up from her every day. Vegans won't touch honey either. It's insanity. Yeah. They're like, so what's your definition of cruelty? So you're saying that a carrot isn't alive? So what, it's the level of consciousness. Okay, so chickens have pretty low consciousness. I think a chicken has lower consciousness than a redwood tree. Like one of those 1,000-year-old sequoias that reach up to the heavens, that have seen rises and falls of empires. They have an entire network under the soil where their roots all touch other roots. When one of them dies, they give other trees in their family all their vitamins and minerals and shit. So you're saying one of these fucking retarded chickens is like, oh, I'm gonna eat my own shit. You think that has a higher awareness than a sequoia tree just because it has a beating heart? That's just retarded. I only eat retarded carrot. Yeah, bacteria has no clout with vegans. Oh yeah, and then they're like, only no animals though. It's like, okay, well, you're all the bugs and all this shit, only good carrots. Yeah. All right, if you want to super chat me and Kyneton Bear, every bit helps. Entropystream.live/app/Owen Benjamin Comedy. And of course, P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho 83864. This stream and all our projects are funded just by you guys, so I appreciate that. I know the other day I was like, I'm doing great. You don't need to super chat me anymore. And then I forget that, like, I have literally like employees and projects going, so I can be a retard. So don't always listen to me. I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's the same thing happened to me recently. Today, actually, I posted a Dennis Prager thing where they said, where they're posting about how comedians are allowed to say anything, and they have Adam Carolla, and it's like the Prager U is like, God bless the comedians who get to speak the truth. And I'm like, yeah, well, you deleted all the videos I made with you for speaking what I believe to be true. I was talking about how they're hypocrites, and one guy was like, just work on your farm and family, Big Bear. Don't look back at the J. I'm like, it's not about me. It's about other people. It's like, sometimes I do stuff like that to break the spell for people that are under their spell. I don't care about Dennis Prager. I'm glad they deleted those videos. Like, that would be embarrassing for me. If right now, especially given what's happening in the Middle East and all that, and you got these shill warhawk like monsters, and then my name is associated with Dennis Prager, like, that's embarrassing for me. So I'm glad they deleted it. That being said, don't pretend like they encourage quote unquote free speech, because they don't. If you criticize anybody with a small hat on their beady little heads, it's like they'll delete you faster than they've been deleted from platforms. They're a bunch of liars. And I don't post that because I care about them or I'm spiteful or anything. It's because of all the young people that are in the spell. And a lot of people don't think about others, myself included. Like when I say, you don't have to super chat me, I'm good. It was oddly being selfish, because I'm like, oh yeah, forget about all the projects and expenses of all the websites that we're making and all the people that I employ now. It's like, yeah, fuck them. I'm good. I have a farm. So, just wanted to explain that. But it's not I'm not being pushy. It's not like, oh, I gotta support Big Bear, he's going down. That's not the position. I am in a really good position, so don't think that way, but the more resources we can acquire, the more awesome shit we can do. So, and we are doing awesome shit. And this documentary that's coming out, like we get to employ a bear out of LA that said no to the bee system and all that. Like this all comes from donation money. So, you know, I'm like retarded for being like, oh, don't even super, I don't care, I'm good. It's like, okay, what about all the other bears that are like, I can employ, you know? It's, and I'm like the middle of the tent, I'm like the tent post, so if I say like, fuck it, I'm good, all the people that I employ are like, well, I'm not totally good. And I'm like, okay, sorry, I'm not. That's why I'm a situational alpha. I'm like more Bravo than alpha, because like I don't always think that way. I'm not designed to always think like, well, I got to maximize resources so I can allocate resources all to and grow the business and blah blah blah. I'm way more like, oh, I got a full belly. I'm great. So, but I'm in an alpha position, and I feel I probably will be the rest of my life. So, I have to train myself to get better at being an alpha. All right, hey BB, we're going to be in North Idaho for the rest of the week. I'd like to help build for a couple days. Who can I talk to? God bless. Thanks for your example and encouragement. Oh, Low-Key Bear, nice. We're going to be posting details potentially in the Beartaria Times Idaho section, or you can email Cod, I guess. I met him. He's cool. He's great. I met him the other day at my kid's t-ball practice. Oh, it was really funny. We're at farmer's market the other day, and some like little kid comes up to me and is like, "Where's Sidekick Bear?" It's really funny. Like whole families now are like watching the stream, and I used to think it was like bad to do so many hours of streaming and like have it be, you know, okay for kids, not kids, but like, you know, like young, like old kids. But compared to what else is out there, it's way better for kids. So not kids. Like when I'm talking about like mocking squirting and all that shit, I don't want young people exposed to that. But the mainstream is so disgusting and so bad that kids that have been exposed to that already and to have somebody mock it and to like pull them out of it, I think is really good. Anyway, so Low-Key Bear, you can email Coddington at, hang on, let me tell you his email in a second. I don't know what I'm going to pull I'm not going to say his email. I just realized that he could get like flooded. Just join Beartaria Times app and then join the Idaho group. And I'll post there about stuff for Beartaria. A lot of moving parts. You know, we're literally building like tons of shit right now on the fly. So I'm not super organized, and I don't know what to tell you right now, but I'd love to have you. You're a great guy, and we'd love to have your family up there. Really cool people. All right, Balance Bear says, some funds for dirt buckets, inevitable casino benders during his road trip. Oh, yeah, add on an extra 10 hours. Put 10 on Red Cod. Normally my biscuits are dry coming into Monday streams, but the Barnett episode was so gravy-ladled that my biscuits are still drenched. Looking forward to Ursa Rio onward. Yeah, Balance Bear is coming back up, too. I'm excited to see him again. Thank you. Gas money and not for NL Hold'em Cod. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for telling him that. Every time he sees a casino on the side of a highway, we're looking at another day, 2 days without Coddington. Thank you, Beach Bear. All right, sweet. Hopefully that all makes sense. All right, DM on the BT on the DL. My inbox at the Beartaria Times is so like full now that I'm having a hard time getting everybody or anybody. You know, that happens to me constantly whenever I have something awesome. Beartaria Times at Coddington Bear. He'll know shit. You having a birthday party up there, BB? Sure. You know, I don't really think about my birthday very much, but yeah, I mean, we'll be up there. Jim Bob's coming the day after my birthday. Yeah, May 24th is my birthday. I'll be 41 years old. All right, what else do I got? Oh, here's something real quick. Tony Hinchcliffe, comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, dropped by WME and Joe Rogan gigs after slur against Chinese comedian reports. Tony Hinchcliffe thought he was untouchable. Turns out there was a chink in his armor. I warned him. I warned all of them 4 years ago. And if they had stood by the community, they wouldn't just be getting picked off one at a time. Joe Rogan, and they're all so terrified now. It's like Joe Rogan is the most paid comic in the world, more than Seinfeld or Rock or any of those people, and he's the most scared. He can't have his twink, his butt boy, open for him because they made fun of a Chinese guy. Ugh. Well, anyway, we did get video footage of Rogan trying to explain why he canceled Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe talks like this. He talks like the alien from American Dad. We actually have video footage of Rogan responding to this Tony Hinchcliffe scandal. Here we go. Here we go. So again, this was Joe Rogan giving Tony Hinchcliffe a social media intervention. He was going to say, run all your racially charged tweets by me first. And so he was trying to really relate. He was trying to really relate to his buddy, Tony Hinchcliffe. So this is how he this is real footage of Joe Rogan. For those of you just listening, it's a midget, obviously. And so moments after this video, some transgenders at Spotify just took the midget and threw him overboard and let him drown. Yeah, Vox was telling me that he watched a little Jimmy Fallon because he was just curious, like what they talk about now. And I was talking to him yesterday about this, and he was like, I watched for about 5 full minutes, and they didn't say anything about anything. Like, comedians now can't talk about, well, I mean, they can. Look at me, Mountain Bear, all the guys here. But they can't say anything. Like, they can't even compliment the black because then the black takes it as an insult. Like, if you're like, wow, Darius, you're very well-spoken. It's like, what you mean I well-spoken? You say that we not well-spoken? If you're not canceled as a comedian already, you're not a comedian. Straight up, any comedian that isn't fully canceled by the beast now, I mean, if you're allowed on municipal water at this point, you're not a comedian. Like, I don't have respect for you. If they haven't tried to shut off your power, you're not a comedian. Drunk midget, buddy, I meant to send you something funny about this topic. It's insanely funny. Let me find it. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, text to me. And any super chats, enderbystream.live/app/OwenBenjamin Comedy. Here at Tea Time with Barry and Larry has 917 people watching right now on a YouTube channel with no content at all. I love you people. You guys are so ride or die. It makes me so happy. There's like 1,000 people right now watching on a YouTube channel that basically doesn't exist. Like, no building up, no years of building my audience or community building. It's literally Tea Time with Barry and Larry, like a hidden channel that like has no videos on it. There's 1,000 people here. Oh my God, no one's having more fun than us. Hey Walter, no one's having more fun than the Bears. No one's having more fun than the Bears. Oh my God, people are obsessed with tea. We will follow those sailors anywhere. Even though they fake their own deaths to change their name to avoid paying taxes in Ibiza. Did you send it to me, Cod? I'm dying to know what it is. I mean, it's like Tony Hinchcliffe. Dude, Joe Rogan literally, on camera, and called a theater full of black people Planet of the Apes. That's on video. He's like laughed along with his friends that are like full blown hard R's, like rapists, about how they just like bang chicks and bail on them and stuff, like Brian Callen and all those guys. I mean, alleged rapists. It's alleged. Oh, by the way, if you want an allegedly hoodie, I love mine. I wear it all the time now. Unbearablesmerchandise.com. But he can be canceled at any time. That's why he has to be so full of it. He can't even allow his butt boy Tony Hinchcliffe to open for him. Tony Hinchcliffe. Well, let's see what you got, Tone. Tony, Tone Loke. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Let's see if you're willing to get, your own animals and farm and tour in barns and not allowed on any social media. We'll see. We'll see. I'm rooting for you, buddy, if you can turn the corner. But if you just apologize to the Chinese guy, imagine apologizing to a Chinese guy for anything. When you're like, oh, I'm sorry, Chinese guy, for hurting your feelings. It's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Now I'm going to buy all your energy production in your little country. You're talking about a country that aborted all the girls. You're talking about a country that literally the government was like, we have too many people. Kill all the girl. And you're going to apologize for saying, what, slope? It's a slippery slope. It turns out he has a real chink in his armor. These words don't matter, guys. And the Chinese man. Oh, dude, did you see the CGI they just did where they landed on Mars? It's so fake. And China's like, we on Mars now. We open up dry cleaner. That's why there's 1,000 people at Tea Time with Barry and Larry, by the way. It's because, I'm not scared of these people. All right. Oh, our class congratulated Tyrone and Danashi for being black teens. Ah, they're now giving awards for just being black. Oh my God, the blacks are so effed. Look at Tanashi. What's her name? No, Denisha. Look at how sad Denisha is holding these flowers like, dude, they know. They're in hell. They're like, either they're full-blown victim consciousness where they're like, about time, white girl, give me flower. Or they're like, oh my God, can you just please treat me like a human being? Chinese people say, you hurt my feeling, Tony Hinchcliffe. We kill all our girl. Oh, in China. Oh, we beat you with long stick for going pee-pee in the Coke. Here's the irony about me Chinese, me play joke, me go pee-pee in your Coke. Everyone knows that hilarious. Oh, bear in mind, this is coming from a guy who, when I was in school, our gym teacher would call us fags for not going outside in the rain. So when they just keep trying to pretend they can change the whole world and rewrite our brains based on whatever nonsense whim or wizard language spell they're trying to do right now, I'm not doing that. Growing up, like the authorities, like our gym teacher would be like, get out there and play. It's like, it's raining. It's like, you guys are a bunch of fags. So we're just going to pretend none of that happened. We're just going to be this like Stockholm syndrome. No, we're not, by the way. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like, so this is America. So they're going to demand us to be Stockholm syndrome, like victims where anything we're told, we just believe that now, where it's like, oh, this is now called a sunflower. No, it's a phone. It's a sunflower. You're a racist. No, I'm not playing in that world because they're just going off a cliff. Like when Vox was watching Fallon, he was like, I watched it for 5 straight minutes. They didn't talk about one thing. Like they can't say one thing. Like if you say congratulations for being black, they go, oh, you say, so that mean you think you're better? I don't even know how they think anymore. It's insane. BB, your Chinese accent is about, oh, I Chinese. I go pee-pee in your Coke. The funniest part about me Chinese, me play joke, me go pee-pee in your Coke, the funniest part about all that is the pee is healthier than the Coke. Me Chinese, me play joke, me go pee-pee in Tony Hinchcliffe Coke. The irony is, urine is healthier than Coca-Cola. If a Chinaman really did go pee-pee in your Coke, he did you a favor. Coca-Cola is filled with like cancer-causing, diabetes-causing hell chemicals. Your urine is basically just like blood without any red blood cells in it. Me slant eye, me skeptical of everything. Oh, Tony Hinchcliffe say that I don't open my eye very wide. I mean, it true, I don't open my eye very wide. Why you like mustard in your... Oh, yeah, let's just do it. In honor of Tony Hinchcliffe, that brave, brave boy who just became a man, that hairless twink whose entire career is being under the dragon wing of a drunk midget named Joe Rogan. Now he has to stand on his own 2 feet. Will you go into the wilderness and come out a man, Tony Hinchcliffe? Or will you apologize to the Chinese man? Me, the Big Bear, warned you people about this 4 years ago when you all made me a punchline in your little Hollywood gay bars. When I was getting kicked out of the Beast before any of these people were, they were like, oh, yeah, Sam Tripoli, all these people, Joe Rogan, Bert Kreischer, Whitney Cummings, all of them publicly said, oh, Owen Benjamin's lost his mind. Oh, isn't he one of those racists? Now, even Theo Von laughed along as Whitney Cummings called me a white supremacist. Secretly, Theo knew better. He was texting me. Total nonsense, bunch of liars. Well, the wolf is now at your door. And I don't care how many hits you get on YouTube or how many sponsorships you get from a new energy drink. You can't say the truth anymore, and you know it's hell. Want to know what I can do? I can be the Jew and the Chinaman. Unbearablesmedia.com. I highly recommend you bookmark this page. And send me videos of your own Beartaria. What have you built in your life that is Beartaria? Beartaria is not in North Idaho. Beartaria is in your heart, in your family, in your backyard. Tell me about the family you've been making. Tell me about the gardens you've been making, and email me the videos at whydidn'ttheylaugh@gmail.com. Okay, Mountain Bear. It's like, I'm excited for Tony Hinchcliffe. So let's see if he can stand up on his own gay little feet. All right, let's see here. Renditions. So good. Every one of these is so good. We could do so many episodes of just Mountain Bear. This was the first video that Mountain Bear ever sent me. This is like 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago. I might be. I'm really bad with time, so I don't know. 10 years ago, yesterday, I don't know. Time doesn't really exist, so whatever. But a young mountain bear out of Ireland just sends me that. I easily could have not seen this. Hang on. Where is this? Unbearables Media. And this is the first thing Mountain Bear ever made, and he's so productive. He is he's the best Delta I've ever seen in my life, Mountain Bear. He just works, loves accomplishing tasks. If the world was full of mountain bears, we would have a wonderful world.
So I paid you to clean my slacks, and I love that the mustard is still in my slacks.
Why you love mustard in your slacks?
Kinda sounds like my therapist. I just love paying my hard-earned money to have somebody not take the mustard out of my slacks.
Why you waste money? That make no sense. You crazy.
Well, tell that to my therapist.
Get out of here. No pants for you.
I mean, I guess this is business. This is a good business plan to not take out the mustard out of my slacks.
That bad business plan. Why would anyone pay to not take mustard out of slacks?
Wow, looks like we got a ray of sunshine over here.
I know ray of sunshine. I own dry cleaner. What is wrong with you?
I'm so happy that when I was born, someone took part of my dick off and sold it to Sandra Bullock's face.
You sick man. Why you let someone cut your dick? Sandra Bullock is a man.
Hey, looks like we got the National Enquirer over here.
I know National Enquirer. My name Ming. I work at Dry Cleaner.
Wow, this is great.
Oh, you know funny. I tell you what funny is. Funny is when men get hit in testicle.
I love getting hit in the testicle.
You know funny. Wanna know who funny? Fat girl fall downstairs with big hat.
Oh my God, so good. Because that's why the Chinese are just steamrolling the J Grabblers. The Chinese Grabblers are steamrolling the J Grabblers because sarcasm is so weak, and the J's are like, so you're telling me you won't get mustard? It's just like insane. And the Chinaman is like, if you make American J feel very shameful, they fire their own comedian. We do that now as war tactic. We read Sun Tzu, Art of War, say you attack the enemy where they're weak. America has lost its fucking mind when it comes to racial relations and shame. All we have to do is say, oh, you racist. It's like, well, coming from a guy who's definitely not racist. No, Chinese very racist. We better than Japanese. We the best race in the world. We don't even want to live in your country. We just want to own it and make you slave. Well, I guess I'm going to be a great slave. No, you make bad slave. We kill you. We want the black man slave or the big white man slave with the big American penis. So you're telling me this isn't a monster penis? No, that's smallest penis I ever seen. All right. Art of War coloring book we give our children. And one of those math things with the beads on it. So this is comedy? Yeah, they're comedy. Owen Benjamin does real comedy. That's why he has authentic audience and is growing everything. You know have real comedy. You under dragon wing of drunk midget Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan can't say the truth no more and he knows it. That's why he's spiraling. Joe Rogan posted this the other day. Hang on, let's look it up. Joe Rogan. And he is under that dragon's wing just sucking that dick. He is like, so this is what he said. And by the way, yeah, this has gotten 500,000 likes and blah, blah, blah. He can't be funny. Remember I called this? Listen to this. I try to write these sauna posts right after I get out before I lose the feeling of intense vulnerability I get when I'm counting down the minutes, and then extreme relief and gratitude I feel when I get out. Is he talking about anal, by the way? Jesus, Joe. I get so vulnerable when I put my ass in the air. Anyway, listen to this. Now that I'm back doing stand-up regularly, I'm feeling really excited, but also aware I've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, because you bomb now, and you know it. Houston was really fun this Friday, and the first time I've done a large audience like that in over a year. It was a weird feeling. Yeah, weird feeling when you bomb. And a good reminder of how much work this shit takes. I fucked up part of one bit, and of course that's been haunting me every minute of every day since then. But that's how I always is with me. No, Joe, you are bombing because you're not allowed to tell the truth. Guys, be honest with yourself. And Joe, if you're listening, be honest with yourself. You put me in front of a large audience in Houston, do you think I'd mess up jokes? Do you think the audience wouldn't be laughing? You're not a comedian anymore. You are a shill. So now you're real vulnerable getting out of your sauna. What has been haunting you every minute of every day is not having one bad set. That doesn't haunt a comedian every minute of every day. What haunts a comedian is you took a Faustian deal where you now no longer can be a comedian in exchange for fiat currency that is currently in a nosedive. You can't even protect your friends. Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Callen, Chris D'Elia, you couldn't say one kind word about your friends as they got canceled. a couple of them for real reasons. Tony Hinchcliffe because he made fun of Chinese man. And so then what does he say? I'm back working out regularly on stage in Austin, and I'm doing Creek and Cave this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, knocking the rust off and working out some new shit. No one cares. And stand-up comedy in this world is absolutely done. Nobody with any, because the dude who's shooting our documentary, he was working on a big budget movie. He's done a lot, dude. We're very fortunate to get him. But they were like basically saying you have to be tested 6 times a week, 5 times a week, every single day. They have to shove something in your nose. And he was like, why not just once a week? The cops and firefighters get tested once a week. And they're like, we'll find someone else if you don't. Okay, do you understand the overall effect of that? The power, all these people drunk on power and full of pride because they got all their money. They're like, oh, we'll find someone else who'll do it, who will cuck, who's desperate enough, greedy enough, hollowed out enough of their own morality that they will do anything for work. Well, guess what? Now the quality of the work goes down. Huh, Joe Rogan? Now that that Spotify gave all their money to a guy willing to go as low as Joe Rogan, how is he supposed to make actual people laugh now? What do you do up there? Do you make fun of the insanity of the world? Well, guess what? You're paid by the insanity of the world. You're captive. And your captor is telling you, say this or we don't give you money, when your job is to say the truth. I'm in heaven. I'm in this wonderful existence. I'm surrounded by flowers and children and animals, and my audience is here at Tea Time with Barry and Larry. You'll never and there's still hope for you, Joe Rogan. You're gonna have to burn it. There's hope for Tony Hinchcliffe. Now you got to see if you're really funny, big guy, or did people just go to your show because they thought they might be able to meet Rogan? Rogan used to be better. I was talking to a buddy last night about that. Like, if you go back and listen to Joe Rogan and like when I did his show or before, when it was like episode 700, 800, 500, you would still like it now. Granted, a lot of us have grown so much in the last 4 years that I wouldn't have a ton of interest in listening to old Joe Rogan, but you're listening to a guy that was genuinely curious about the world, genuinely figuring shit out, genuinely like trying to do his own thing, and it was enjoyable. It still holds up. We weren't stupid for liking Joe Rogan back in the day. You listen to old Steven Crowder, it's not bad. They sold out. They refused to get out from under the dragon's wing, and now you're seeing the result. We weren't crazy for thinking Crowder and Nake Jared had funny sketches. They did. They still hold up. If you watch Steven Crowder now, it's so bad. It's so full of lies and shit because, dude, I used to tour with Jimmy Fallon. He used to be funny. You watch his show, it's a scared guy, scared of saying anything. And you cannot be a comedian in those environments. It's the opposite. And the world that cannot force you to do anything. Look at me. My success and my health and my happiness and my gratitude is proof that there's nothing they can do to you that you don't do to yourself. Oh, Tony Hinchcliffe, make me sad. Joe Rogan's like, listen, Tony, I know that we fuck and everything, but like you can't open for me anymore. But Joe, I open for you all the time, if you know what I mean. Talking about my anus. Oh, really funny. But right now, I probably can't even let you be vulnerable for me. I'm in my sauna and I'm being vulnerable. Oh, I know what that means. You're dilated for me, aren't you, Joe? Yeah. Yeah, but I've been thinking about it every day. Every single day of my life, I think about that Houston set where I messed up the wording of that joke. No, Joe. It's not the wording of jokes. Look at me every day. I don't have a script. It's like, I don't even have a plan for anything I do. You just flow. You go out there and you just tell jokes, buddy. You be yourself. Oh, I forgot. You can't be yourself now because you've been paid to kill your own soul. Good luck, asshole. All right, please verify me as Luddite Bear. Welcome, Luddite Bear. Hey, Owen and Cod, have fun at the build. Wish I could be there, but I'm busy working on Bertaria South down here in Brazil. Yes, Brazil. We'll send handwritten update as the homestead gets built. All love and abundance. Jean-Michel. I love it, brother. Never get to live stream with you and never send an entropy. Here's a little more for the big bear. Oh, how dare you, Nathaniel. Thanks for all you do, man. Verified as fellow Bard Bear and NATO on Bertaria Times. Keep crushing. Thank you, brother. Welcome. Onward. Just sent a Bertaria video with my microgreen setup in Jacksonville. Dude, this documentary is going to be fucking incredible. And we don't want to rub it into people. This is about having people that can still get out, get out. Like this documentary is going to show, because so many people live in hell because they haven't been shown another option because of the media dominance and all the selling out and the cucking. We want to get this thing on Amazon, because Amazon Prime, you can still get stuff on. Netflix, obviously not, and we don't want to work with them anyway. But like, we want to get this in as many places as we can. And it's about what now for a lot of people. And I'm not looking to rub it in on people. I'm looking for the people that like are like, oh my God, I have more power than I ever realized. Like, I can just start doing stuff where I live. I don't need to wait for someone else to do it for me. Joe Rogan's never coming home, guys. Daddy's never going to admit the moon landing's fake. All right. Tony Hinchcliffe, more like Tony Cringecliffe. Good one, Bear Razor. All right, Gregory says, hey, BB, keeper of the mountain bear here. Thanks for the streams and projects. A tip for the Bard, and I'll send a vid of what we're doing at my grandma's daddy's homestead in Spokane Valley. After 40 years of neglect, nobody's having more fun. Dude, there's going to be so much heart in this documentary. It's blowing my mind already. We haven't even started. Nick, very generous. Thank you, buddy. Wish we could make it to Idaho to help out, but instead here's some gas money to help get buckets out there. You know, for the long hours of driving, this is not much for Cod to do, but make up puns for hours on end. Oh, I know, it's going to suck. He's immediately going to get out of his car and say a pun, and then we're all going to attack him. Onward, keep crushing. And everyone, Nico Bear, thanks, brother. 10 years diet research trying to heal stuff. All veggie, all meat do the same thing, but meat does it way slower. They both lead to detox and healing. Oh, that's very interesting. Which up, Bear? Neither are sustainable for healthy long-term, though. Should be used in short spurts to heal. I agree with that. All about balance and eating depending on what your body needs. 100%. It's 100% what I believe. And right now, my body needs like basically veganism. And it's working. And then there's going to come a time when my body's like, give me some of that fat. Because my engine's going to come back, and it's going to be like the healing. Because I've been hard on my body over the years. A lot of us have. Sleep Deprived Bear. Thank you, Owen, for your insights and words of encouragement. Thank you, Cod, for your puns and your support to the Bears. Awesome. Thank you, brother. What are your thoughts on people creating fake vaccine passports? Good idea, bad idea? Bad idea. Bad idea. I was going to talk about that today, actually. I saw a couple bears in various groups talk about making fake vaccine passports. There's a couple reasons that's bad. One, it's you're creating the vaccine passport by doing that. They're not here. They're not going to be here. That's a fucking grabbler pipe dream, okay? So if you start doing that, you're almost like creating a world. You're creating a new binary where it's like, oh, well, now there's vaccine passports, so I need to make a fake one. And I guarantee you there's some sort of like operation going on to bust people doing that, because a grabbler wet dream would be like, we're arresting people because I guarantee right now it's illegal to forge a document or something, like based on like an old law, forging a document, blah, blah. Okay, it would be a grabbler wet dream of like rhetoric and like psyop pushing to be like, oh, we've arrested this guy for making a fake vaccine passport. Because then look at what that brings in vaccine passport into the zeitgeist. And so don't do that. And because we're not even, you're bringing it into reality. Fake passports are admitting the criminality of being unvaccinated. Exactly. Never forget about the pig cage video. Figure they're always trying to trap you. Stay smart. Right, exactly. And so, especially if you're publicly sharing information about how to make anything like a fake passport, I mean, you're fucked. You can't even deny it if you get caught with that, because your whole life is recorded online. And so, you know, quote unquote authorities, bear in mind, vaccine passports are bullshit. Like, just don't even think like they're in the world, because they're not. The way to bring them in the world is to have criminals, to make a criminality claim against somebody making a fake one. And you do not need it. There's not one thing in your life right now that you require a quote-unquote vaccine passport. So to talk like that, because a lot of like the sheep would hear that and be like, oh, well, that sounds very criminal. I hope those guys go to jail. And I guarantee there's like operations going on to trap people right now with that. So, yeah, that's just some advice I have, because there's no need, guys. And when you're breaking the quote unquote law, you're setting yourself, especially when it's not in the world right now. It would make it more in the world. They have already stopped harassing you at most stores here in LA if you don't. Yeah. Even if you don't have a piece of paper. Oh, and my buddy's shooting this documentary. He's got a big beard. He's Christian, and he never wears a mask or anything. He's been in LA this whole time, and he's like, I have a religious exemption. And he said something really funny, like a couple times, because if he says Christian, they'll laugh. They'll be like, oh, okay. But if he says Muslim, they take it seriously and they don't give him any shit. How funny is that? Like, he's like, I have a religious exemption. And they're like, oh, Christian. He goes, Muslim. And they're like, come right in. And I know a lot of you guys might say, oh, it's because Muslims are protected. No. It's because they're scared of Muslims. Because Muslims have shown themselves over and over again to be like, we won't stop. And the Christians are like, oh my God, it's so scary. It's like, yeah, and it works. Oh, so you're denying Jesus Christ? Just shut the fuck up. So many Christians have embarrassed themselves for so long. The false entitlement without any actual real life balls is exhausting. Oh, so you're denying Father, Son, Holy Ghost, I'm the Spirit, boy, God loves the most. Dude, Muslims are like, you will not block me. And they know it. And they're scared of them. Christ with thick skin, he gets the joke. Well, I mean, we live in a world where people are more offended by saying you're Muslim, and they have they say Jesus, peace be upon him. And Ben Shapiro calls Jesus a common criminal who's currently in hell. Publicly, Ben Shapiro on Joe Rogan said Jesus Christ was a common criminal and was punished accordingly. Meanwhile, all the same churchian retards will call me a blasphemer and I'm going to hell simply because I don't understand the Trinity. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro, who they give money to, they buy his overpriced sheets, he openly says Jesus was not just a prophet. You know, Muslims say Jesus was the will of God. He was a prophet. You know, that Jesus came as the King of Kings, as the Messiah, as the Savior of man. Like, it's very similar to Christianity. It's very similar to Mormonism in the sense that it's basically Christianity with an added prophet. And they say that, you know, Noah didn't drink and Paul was a bit of a grabbler. Like, there's a few differences, but it's very similar to Mormonism in the sense that they added another guy. Now, modern Judaism, especially in America, not only do they deny Jesus is God, they say he's a criminal. And these are what these neocon people are all about. They're like, oh, the Judeo-Christian values, guys. You got to have the Jew. So how do they view, I should say this. How do a lot of them view Jesus? So do they view him as God? No. Well, do they at least view him as a prophet of God? No, he's actually a bad guy. And he was killed for good reasons. Does that not offend you? No, it doesn't offend us at all. Because we're crazy and weak. And now the devil is not scared of us anymore because we're so insane. Because, you know, I was getting all these these emails and DMs and stuff about Christ the Redeemer down in South America or whatever. And he's like, you know, you got Christ the Redeemer, this big statue, and it says like, get vaccinated on it. And people are like, this is blasphemy. Christ the Redeemer is already blasphemy. Not only are you not supposed to do graven images of prophets, definitely not of God. So if you actually think Jesus is God and you make a giant, I don't know, idol out of him, I'm pretty sure, you have to understand, you got to go back a few steps where it's like, oh, it's blasphemy to get vaccinated on Christ the Redeemer. No, Christ the Redeemer already is blasphemy. Oh, vaccines save, right. And the Muslims don't do images of Jesus, not because they hate Jesus. It's because they know this trick. They know the Grabber trick very, very well. That when you worship a statue, it's very, very easy to put a new message on the statue and to take that prana, that energy, that belief. You look at the statue and you go, Jesus. And so then all that does is it allows really, really evil people to put a new message on there. And then what happens? All those retards are like, that's God up there. It's like, oh, God told me to get vaccinated. It's like, no, you already did the blasphemy by making Christ the Redeemer. No graven images. And that's like, you shouldn't do that of any prophet. Let Muslims remember what America forgot long ago. Yeah. And they've been, a lot of them, I'm really impressed by how a lot of them have handled this situation. Idols are gay, yeah. Because it's like, a lot of Christians are acting like just crying babies. Churches are full of cucked, mask-wearing people, getting vaccinated, pushing vaccines on their flock, and they're acting like they deserve protection. Like, oh, I get a religious exemption. It's like, what have you done to earn that religious exemption? Have you been speaking the truth? Or have you been watching PragerU videos? And that's why I know some hardcore righteous Christians who are crushing. They've accepted it. They've taken the burden. They're doing great. But overall, most people view non-Christians in America, most of the secularists, the scientists, they view a lot of Christians as idiots and weak and lying and annoying because they've lied so much. They've been so hypocritical, like allowing the child abuse to happen. All these giant rich mansions, these people living in mansions, without any kids, like the Joel Osteens and all this shit. It's like, that's why they don't care. That's why you're like, well, I'm a Christian. It's like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go one day without getting chocolates and pornos? One day. They're scared of Muslims because they're like, Muslims will do something. They won't just put up with this shit. And they know, Christians will be like, oh no, and they're just chomping on chocolates. And, think about how many Christians take Sunday to watch football all day long and stuff their face with booze and pizza. That's their Sabbath. Their Sabbath is not to read the Bible and to be with their family and to do work in the field and all that stuff. Their Sabbath, and I'm not trying to be judgy. I'm really not. I'm just trying to let people know why when they say I have a religious exemption, I'm Christian, no one takes it seriously. Because it's become institutionalized that your Sabbath is to drink booze, watch like a satanic ritual in stadiums owned by Jews who claim your God is a criminal, and watch these guys run full speed and you're just chomping, you're stuffing your fucking fat faces with pizza and beer. So when you say, oh, I have a religious exemption, it's like, all right. Anyway, let's continue. I'm sorry, the Christians that get it are not offended right now, by the way. A lot of the Orthodox, a lot of the Mennonites, a lot of the people that held their beliefs, had their own family churches and stuff. Right now, they're like, that's how you really understand. I used to do a bit that you can always tell a cunt because they're offended by the word cunt. They're like, how dare you say cunt? I'm like, why? What's wrong with that word? It's like, it's very offensive. I'm like, let me guess. You're a cunt? So the Christians that are offended by what I'm saying are the ones that are doing what I'm saying. The Christians that find those people exhausting and the fact that they just say they're Christian when they bear no responsibility, none, Like all this time they haven't done any work. Like so many of these like actual hardcore Christians are like happy that I'm calling them out. Guys, I know tons of Christians here that live on homesteads. They dial it in. They believe in the Sabbath. Their businesses are closed on Sundays. American Christians are like, your impression of American Christians are spot on. Yeah, it's like the lies are so obvious at this point, and they're so hypocritical and so paradoxically living that no one takes them seriously. You know, nobody takes them seriously. It's like when Bill Clinton opened up a rape survivors hospital. People are like, really, Bill? It's like, I'm just here. I can't do a Bill, but it's like, I'm here to help the women who've been raped. And everyone's like, have you been raping the women? I love when you go after the Pope. Yeah, Frontline's Jack Barron. He's Catholic. Yeah, it's like, if you're actually Christian, the comedian, like pulls off the vines. And what I'm saying is undeniably true. That American Christians got very, very lazy en masse. You look at their church, you know, the rainbow flags, the get your vaccine, all this stuff. It's like, we know they're full of shit. And we know that the churches could be so good that it bothers us, right? Doesn't it bother you? If you're a real Christian, wouldn't it bother you to look at how Jesus' name has been used as a tool to humiliate? Don't you love Jesus like you say you do? Then why not understand that when you make an idol out of Jesus, like Christ the Redeemer, and you put vaccine saves on it, don't just be mad at that. Be mad at the original statue. Not necessarily even mad, but just be like, of course that's going to happen. When you make idols out of men, when you make idols, when you do idol worship, that idol can be used any way they want. Wherever you gather in his name, there's God. God is there. You know, God, this whole fucking place is Zion, guys. When people, like one person once asked me, when are they going to destroy Zion? I'm like, you're walking on it. You're walking on Zion. We're on Zion right now. You know, Zionism is another spell. It's like Zion is the whole kingdom of God. It's everywhere you are. There's God. It's not just like some magic dirt in the middle of like camel flea country. Even years ago, I wasn't happy with the reputation they gave Jesus. Yeah, and then you got the 700 Club and all these people, Steven Crowder. Like Steven Crowder is like endorsing a transsexual governor. Imagine for a second you're an actual Christian and you're watching someone. Guys, the Bible says men shouldn't dress as women. And so, but he's so dialed in to power and titles and money. He can't even deny the moon landing. The moon in the Bible is a light to rule the night. The entire Bible is flat earth. So it's like, he can't even deny transsexualism. He can't deny a man dressed as a woman pretending to be a woman. And he's going to say that's a leader. So think about how a lot of people see Christians. You know? But what they meant was, right, exactly. But yet, the word Trinity doesn't exist in the Bible, and it requires an outside interpretation that takes some big mental jumps that you can't explain to a child. That is seen as blasphemy to not say, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Jesus, God, right? But yet, Steven Crowder can endorse a transsexual as a leader of California. Do you see why people aren't scared of Christians? And I know fear God only and all that, but the wicked get scared of righteousness. Someone can pull a gun on you. And if you're righteous enough, and if you're fearless enough, and if you fear God only, and you see that this is just a flesh suit we're in, that our soul is eternal, if you know that, they will shit their pants. You know? If someone pulls a gun on a righteous man, they show no fear, that guy's hand just starts shaking. The wicked become terrified of the righteous. So when someone says, I am Christian, they are Christian. It's like, if they are a follower of God, they fear God only. Like the wicked get very scared. And one reason why Muslims get more fear in the hearts of the wicked, like Steven Crowder is obsessed with being scared of Muslims. It's why he didn't have children, because he said the Muslims are always coming to get him. Because the Muslims showed strength and like righteousness. You can call me any name you want, guys. It's like, oh, I'm Benjamin the Muslim now. I've been called worse things. Okay? When you're dealing with countries that refuse to let in usury, refuse to let in Hollywood movies. A frog? Let me see. Show the bears. Tell the bears about what you got in your hand.
So I have a frog. It's really jumpy. Look.
Amazing.
And it's really wiggly, like a worm. And it's just like a worm. You have to be really careful with frogs. And we have a way far away neighbor, and its name is Nana. And we saw another frog, like children frog. And this might be a children frog.
I love it, buddy. Good to see you. That's Zion. It's real jumpy. That's Zion. Like, this is God. The whole thing is God's kingdom. Well, he's a sweetheart. He's so sweet. So sweet. And I go on these rants, not because I'm trying to like embarrass people or be mean. It's like I want people to get out of their hell. It's like, you're in Zion. This is all God's country. It's like, you have to just accept it. Like, let Jesus into your heart. Be born again. Like, these things are not fake. They're real. It's all real. That was a great interruption. Walter knows when to up the game. Well, it's just, dude, it's all God's plan. All of it. All right, I had a PragerU ad with Dennis himself come up recently saying anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism no matter what. I was like, skip. Oh, that narrative is running dry, guys. I mean, it's just so spent. Anti-Zionism, and Zionism isn't even Zionism. Like, actual Zionism is like to protect Zion, which is like all of the land. Zionism means to support the corrupt government of a place that they fraudulently called Israel. And that if you don't, you hate Semites, which include Arabs, but has been fraudulently called Jews. Guys, like, the lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie, it's to a point where just let it go. Build Bertaria, baby. Come on, build Bertaria. And show me your Bertaria and email it to whydidn'ttheylaugh@gmail.com. If you want to contribute to the documentary, the building process, all the expenses, entropystream.live/app/Owen Benjamin Comedy and P.O. Box 490 Sandpoint, Idaho 83864. And again, I have much love for Christians and Christianity. A lot of Christians and Christianity got me out of a hell I was in and like helped show me the path out when I was like thrown out of the beast and I was like alone in the wilderness. The reason that I have these opinions and I'm so passionate about this is because I don't like when people mock Jesus or when people misrepresent Jesus or try to use Jesus for their own wicked schemes. And so I don't want to come across like I'm like putting down Christianity or Christians or like anything like that. I want more people to walk with Jesus and to stop using him, to stop manipulating him, to stop using his life to like push something evil. And I think a lot of Christians have had it so easy in America for so long that they don't have, like, they need like a coach or something to be like, fucking, what makes you better than the Muslims right now? You keep saying that. You keep saying, oh, the Muslim invasion. It's like, what makes you better? How many children do you have? Do you speak the truth? Have you suffered for your righteousness? Have you accepted pain and suffering as a small cost to pay for God the Most High? Have you paid anything for your status as Christian? And they're like, I'm trying to masturbate. Leave me alone. Here's some more super chats. Thank you. This is for Gas Cod, not your outstanding debt to Chief Runs with Premise. In other news, I got my future wife to join Bertaria Times, and she's absolutely inspired. Yeah, Bertaria Times is great for women. Like your women, you know, it's like, Big Bear, how do I red pill my woman? Do I just tell her about the Jew? No. You know, my Instagram and places like that will always be more like rough. Some women totally like it and get it, but like a lot of them would rather follow my wife, Daisy Love _13 on Instagram. She has twice as many followers as I do. Very pleasant, very beautiful world, you know. Bertaria Times is for the beauty of the world. You know, my Instagram or whatever, I'm like swinging in the mud. Unbearables Media, you know, stuff like that. It's not to like first show your girl. So get your girls on Bertaria Times. It's like Pinterest with soul. You know, it's like the kingdom of God meets Pinterest meets just good dudes meets just like, you know, it's like if Pinterest had a moral foundation, you know, where it's just like beautiful gardens and like someone making jelly and someone knitting something and someone meeting up for a bear meetup, like stuff that women love, except there's a moral undertone. Like Pinterest can be very just materialistic and agenda driven, but you guys get it. All right. She's constantly asking me when we're going to get hitched, move to a farm, and make babies. Guess I'll have to oblige her. Thanks again, BB. Exactly. Hey, Big Bear, I'll be in Sandpoint on the 24th, 25th. Would you like to help? North Star Bear. Would like to help Ursa Rio? Yeah, of course. Originally didn't think I'd be in the area when I submitted the sign-up sheet. If you're full, it's all good. Just thought I'd throw my hat in the ring. Here's some gas money for dirt buckets. Put it on Red Cod. Yeah, no, it's not about being like full. It's like we have to just know who's there. We have to get consent forms for the documentary. We have to understand how much like food to try and get, you know. So yeah, of course, North Star Bear. It's like just get in touch with Coddington any way you can, or follow the protocols on Bertaria.io or Bertaria Times Idaho section. We will potentially be posting there. So it's not that we're like, oh no, you can't come or whatever. We just need vetting, and we need to know how many people we're dealing with and that they're comfortable with being on camera and shit like that. So yeah, we're always, I'm going to be pulling buckets of water out of a river for like hours to mix cement while we're there. So yeah, we can always use extra hands. But again, it's like you have to have the right attitude. It's all about building, not about like talking shit or, you know, it's just about building. You know what I'm saying? And I know that we're so lucky to have the audience we have, because it's like the people are just crushers. Like when we invited some local bears that I hadn't even met yet to like do some tree whacking to get rid of some trees. We got like 15 guys up there, all awesome people. And it's like, also it's like, I know this goes without saying, but like, I don't really matter. Like if you see me there and you're like really into my comedy and stuff, it's like, just focus on each other and like the work you're doing and then really enjoy yourself. I'll be able to chat with you guys and do all kinds of fun stuff, but like, I don't matter. Like the project matters, you know, building matters. You forming friendships with each other matters way more than telling me something, you know? I'm totally approachable and all that shit, but like, I don't fucking matter. And like when we're building Ursa Rio, I have some of the least amount of skills. I will be carrying water because I might be really good with rhetoric and comedy and piano and shit, but when it comes to building, like compared to a lot of the bears, I'm like bottom 10%. I'm a grunt, and it's a great metaphor for society, because the grunts, the deltas, a lot of the people that are just doing simple jobs well and consistently are the only reason you can do anything. And I will be honored to do just grunt work and just move bags of cement and move cordwood and move water and all this shit, because I don't have construction skills. And a lot of you guys do. So whatever your skill set is will be used. But we don't want a ton of people. You know, we can't have like hundreds of people right away because we don't have a place to sleep everybody or feed or, you know. You know, it's going to be awesome. Hey, Owen, I have a server dairy allergy, anaphylaxis even to trace amounts. That's for any cow or goat milk. I was wondering what your or Tom's thoughts were on allergies and if they can be nullified, maybe. Anyway, thanks so much for all you do. I haven't been around too much lately, but in that time, I've had a baby and bought 7 acres of land in Georgia. Gorgeous. Love it. try unpasteurized raw goat milk and see if you still have an allergy. I've never heard of one person react to it. Unless unless the reaction is like death or like your throat closes up, then don't. Like, I'm not giving you that advice, but try a small amount of unpasteurized raw locally sourced goat milk and see if, or Jersey like A2 protein milk, and see if you still have that reaction. You might be allergic to pasteurized anything. Copper Bear says, second edition of Jew and Chinaman and Joe and Tony sketch from this ep would be wonderful. I'm giggling like a schoolgirl right now. Well, right now, Mountain Bear is making a cartoon that he said is the funniest yet. So I'm excited to see it. For crushing, thank you, Black Coffee Bear. And then Dan says, I wish I could have gotten time off to help with the build. By the way, there's going to be way more times to get time off and help with the build. This is going to be a tough one for everybody because we don't have any infrastructure right now. And so, we can't get in heavy trucks or anything into the area. So we're going to be hand pouring and hand mixing a lot of like slabs and shit. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I'm excited. Some Babylon squares to buy some meat for the crew and blood gas money for COD. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to be bringing up some of my milk and stuff and eggs from the farm, but we'll get a bunch of sandwich stuff and we're going to be barbecuing. Yeah, we're excited. But again, it's a lot of, Busy Town Bear was laughing yesterday. We're hanging out and he was like, because Adam, the director, was like, because I was like, he was like, no script when I come over, because he's going to come over and film me doing farm stuff. I'm like, no, we'll just run with it. And Busy Town Bear was like, because Adam looks at him and Busy Town Bear's like, yeah, I've gotten used to this aspect of Owen. Where I just don't script anything, which kind of sucks in a way when it comes to organizing things, but things always just work out. Always. And so, I don't know. I just am like, when it comes to like pouring concrete, I'm sure having a better game plan might be better, but I'm like, here's a bunch of money. We can buy all this shit and then we'll just fucking do it. And it just works out because like throughout the last 4 years of my life, like hesitation and over planning and fear creeps in and it always ruins everything. Like you have to be like, no, I'm going on tour. Oh, well, they just canceled all your they just canceled all your theaters, even though you put in deposits. Well, that's no problem. We can use PayPal to collect for tickets. We can use the Great Bear Trail, and I can use Barnes. Great. Well, PayPal just kicked you off. That's okay. We'll just, people can buy tickets through the P.O. box. And guys, ask anybody in the chat, anyone that went to any of my shows on those tours, it was like the best shows ever. And not just because I'm the best comedian in the world, potentially next to Norm Macdonald, but because the vibe was just so awesome. You put in the work, you bust your ass, but you leave it into God's hands. And you're like, being kicked off PayPal is legit. Yeah. Instincts are usually right. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like when you're like organizing a bunch of people to pour concrete and you got to feed them all and shit, like organization definitely helps. And Busy Town Bear is good at that. But I don't do that. I'm just like, just fucking go. We'll make it work. And then filming it all, I'm sure like some of the problems we'll have and some of the obstacles we'll have to overcome will be great for the documentary. I just RSVP'd. I'm ready to work. Awesome. My motto is we'll make it work, and we always did. This is the way. Yeah. Just keep running and gunning. Like that's how me and Amy have such a great marriage and great family. It's like we've been through so much shit, guys, like crazy shit. And we're just like, just keep crushing. Real reality. Yeah, we're doing actual entertainment. And I could see in 3 or 4 years, Hollywood is just totally gone. And Unbearables Media and Bertari Times and all that will be like legitimate forces in culture. And because the world respects those who show up and those who honor God. And God is everything good, true, and beautiful. And it's like dogma can weigh you down. You know, oh, are you Catholic or Protestant? Are you this or that? It's like, dude, good, true, beautiful. You can feel it in someone. You can just feel it if they're like, I'm here to crush. I'm here to just do as best as I can. And I'm not afraid. And just leave it on the fucking field. Drowning in dogma. Yeah, because you're not saved by dogma. Oh, by the way, Hollywood, for the first time in its history, is whitewashing the wrong movie. Here we have The Bike Thief, starring what appears to be a white guy. Okay, if I've ever in my life thought of a movie that the poster requires, not just, it requires a black. You know, Hollywood's like, oh, Captain America is now black and gay. It's like, no. Captain America is not black. He's white. Oh, Santa Claus is a black guy from the North Pole. No, people from the North are white. But every bike thief in human history is black. Guys, it goes back a long time. Here you have one of the first bike thieves. For those of you just listening, it's like an old-timey picture with a black guy just gawking at a bike, wearing a diaper. But I did find out, someone told me that guy gets his bike stolen by a black guy, and I think he like hunts him down and everything. I hear it might actually be a really good movie. Like, I don't even think that's The Bike Thief, but as far as, you know, just society goes, like, you can't have a movie called The Bike Thief and have a fucking white guy on it. It should be called Getting the Bike Thief. And then those eyes are like, I'm going to get that black guy. Oh, how dare you be? Just play ball, Big Bear. Don't make fun of black people. Dude, that playing ball gets you there. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan gigs after slur against Chinese comedian. Oh, he make Chinese man feel bad. No. There's a lot of black bears that love this stream because I'm willing to make fun of the fact that they steal bikes. Remember when Barricade Garage was on here and he was like, man, I stole so many bikes before I went to jail. He's like, that shit is true. This one has me genuinely laughing out loud. Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. And when you're in a world where your vice president used to be Montel Williams' side chick, I don't care what they say. You know, get out of your Stockholm syndrome, guys. Like, break free of it. Whether it's from a church or the media or the government or your fucking neighbors or your relatives or whatever it is. Kamala Harris, was Montel Williams' side chick. Okay. Anything she says does not matter. Oh, well, the vice president of the United States has something to say. I'm like, you mean the one Montel used to get some love on his hang low with, on his hang down? And Montel looks like he's deep on the down low. And blacks know exactly what I'm talking about. Look at Montel. Look at how he's dressed. He's on that down low. He creeps. Oh, here's an interesting insight into how the world works. Hang on. Where is it? Remember when we talked about how Zuckerberg was taunting me with the goats? Or no, he was copying me with the goats. Looking back, and don't get me wrong, I know a lot of us realized that this was probably code at the time. I just couldn't decipher it. Unless you know how to decipher it, it doesn't matter. Some people were like, oh, I knew it was code. Yeah, we all kind of knew that Max and Bitcoin was code. But I didn't know what it meant, so I couldn't really tell anybody. So he has his goats, and he says, my goats Max and Bitcoin. Bitcoin tanked the next day. So a lot of times they like to coordinate trades and do insider trading in public so that there is no ability to prosecute. You know, I think Zuckerberg was like, Bitcoin just hit its max. So looking back, I think that's really funny. Bitcoin hit its max the day that Mark Zuckerberg said he had goats, Max, and Bitcoin. And don't pretend like you could have called that aspect of it, because they could have said, it could have meant max out Bitcoin, like push Bitcoin. That's why if you don't have their playbook, it's best to not play in their world. Because while it was happening, I knew there was something up with Max and Bitcoin. You know, these people are always have an angle. But it's like, I didn't know if it meant he was about to hit the floor, like he was about to hit the gas with Bitcoin and only accept Bitcoin and Facebook or something, like what Elon did. Like, okay, here's a perfect example of how they do insider shit. Like, every time Elon Musk said doggy coin on Saturday Night Live, it went down and then popped back up. Like, you can watch the graph. Every time he said it, it went like that. Because they're doing, it's got to hide in plain sight. Because if you do a true conspiracy, like when you're secretly meeting, it can always be proven. It has to be public. Like, you have to be like publicly tweeting another billionaire like, hey, have you ever thought about starting, like, using Bitcoin and blah, blah, blah? Because then you just say, oh, it's public. I allowed the public to see what I was doing. If you secretly, I don't care if you're meeting on fucking Jekyll Island, people will find out. And then it becomes a legal issue. If you publicly tell everybody Bitcoin just hit its max with the fucking names of your goats, you can't really be prosecuted. What do you think of these times when Ellen was wearing an ankle bracelet allegedly and acting crazy? I don't know. But Ellen's show got canceled, which is hilarious. All right, have I gotten everything? Oh, I slaughtered that chicken yesterday. Oh, this is amazing. Someone made this after I was talking about this. The dandelion is the sun, the moon, and the stars. Look at it. It's the sun, then it becomes the moon, then you blow it, and it's the stars. I love dandelions. Dandelions bring a lot of calcium and nutrition to your soil. The fact baby boomers spray dandelions with poison makes me way angrier than anything that, like, the banks or government or any of that shit. Like, people are like, oh, I'm so angry at the Jays, or like, you know, the media. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that. What bothers me, and it shouldn't even bother me, I know we're all on different paths, when I see a fucking baby boomer with his little bucket of poison spraying dandelions to kill them, I'm like, I just want a green grass. Dandelions are edible. They're filled with nutrition. It's the sun, the moon, and the stars. They can grow through concrete, unlike the baby boomer that needs his bottom wiped and a lollipop put in his mouth. I love dandelions. All right, so that's it. I got 2 pieces of mail today. Let me read these, and then we'll call it a day. Coming to you live from Mutby Night Farm. Hey, Rebecca Bear, did you see my Mutby Night Farm tour? I played it in the beginning. Oh, thank you. Wow, that's generous, Ukrainian Bear. To his credit, my boomer dad said if I had acreage, I would grow tons of dandelions. But why would he kill dandelions anywhere? Guys, dandelions in a suburb is the healthiest thing in your grass. Your grass isn't going to give you any nutrition. I seriously had a white kid steal my bike, says Neil. He was framed. Captain America says, I sat in on a Bible study my dad has, and every single person prayer request was money related. Yeah, they're Satanists. I'm going to say it, guys. If you're praying for worldly possessions and money and shit, you're a Satanist. It's one thing if you're praying for, like, protect my family, health, you know, anything outside of, like, help me serve you, God, or help my family thrive, or help my tribe, or help children of the world get through this horrible poverty that's coming because everyone's live action role playing with fucking masks. Great. Any prayer to get money or stuff is the definition of Satanism. And you'll get it, but it's Faustian. It'll be at a cost. And the cost is greater than any. I might be nice. Ukrainian Bear just gave you some money because I'm using it to build Zion. Fact. I'm yelling again. I gotta watch out for that. I'm like yelling at my computer screen again. But it's like we're building alternatives to media, alternatives to the supply chains, alternative to, you know, worship. It's like that's important. And so That's why I've been given resources. It's because I have to do shit with them. Like these people, they're just praying for money. It's like, what are you doing? All right. They see God as a genie who can pay their bills for them. Yeah, it's the God of this world. It is a genie. It is a jinn. Instead of not wanting to disappoint him, this is why I switched to Torah observance. Good for you. I have more respect for Jews that like just do strict Torah observance than I do these satanic Christians. Stop using Jesus' name to get yourself shit. And to like say to, oh, I'm Christian. It's like, oh, then other people go, oh, he must be very moral. No, no, no. They pray to Jesus to get money. And they think that Jesus died so that they can sin. No, when the blood, I get it. I understand that what I think is, I don't know, this is just my opinion, not dogma. You can't make your opinion dogma. That when the blood hit the earth, something shifted and Satan lost power because they didn't have a right to crucify him. They didn't have a right to torture him. I think that they crossed a line, and I think there's a higher law that has a recourse to that. Where I think when Satan crossed a line with Jesus, we all benefit from it. Like, I think Satan lost his grip. I think he's still the prince of this world and has a grip and all that. But, like, I think that the blood, because there's clearly a higher law, right? And so that's why they need to make you do it. There's never been a government law to make you wear a mask or do a vaccine, all this shit, right? Like, you have to do it yourself. The government has never sent a single person a mask in the mail. Nobody has. It's all an illusion. It's all tweets and implications and shame. And because I think there is a higher law that I know, actually, I don't think, I know. There's a higher law that in order to do evil, you have to follow the higher law. You have to get your victims to agree to it. And so I think that's why Jesus died for our sins makes sense in a way, but it's not the way churchians use it. In my opinion, Jesus' torture crossed a line. Like that Jesus made Iris so infuriated that he was like, oh, thank you, Jesus, I'm just going to... And I think it crossed... I think like the Pharisee has to get you to do it. And so Jesus never asked for it. So it like, that action freed a lot of people. Mind-blowing when coming up with realizations. Yeah. You got to invite the vampires in. Yeah, I think Satan crossed a line with Jesus that he couldn't get back in a way. BB, how does one overcome anger towards God in your opinion? I need more information, but for me, it's being grateful at what's to come from the perceived pain or injustice. So like anger in God is like taking family members from you, or betrayal, or losing something very important, or bad health or something. You know, a wrong, you know, there's a million ways to be mad at God. New covenant. Yeah, totally. But it's not so baby boomers can like whack off. You know, like that isn't what happened. What happened was, say, in my opinion, this is not dogma. It's not something you have to follow or anything. I think that the great Satan of this world, the Pharisee, overstepped their bounds with Jesus. Like, you're not allowed to do that to a guy like him. Like acting out God's law. And then he drew out the venom that wasn't allowed. He said, sin no more. Exactly. He didn't say, you now are forgiven. You can do as thou wilt. And now you're, he gave a path to people to the kingdom of heaven that I don't know about what I'm talking about right now. It might not have existed before. I don't know. There is truth to Jesus died for our sins. It's convoluted and there's weird words in that sentence, but like, there was a forgiveness of the earth when Satan overstepped. There's probably a major punishment for Satan or something, because I think God allows Satan because Satan is pulling out evil in man and exposing it. But when Satan goes after God's children, which is clearly Jesus Christ is clearly one of God's children, that's protected, I think there's a major penalty for that. Like a biblical permanent type penalty that Satan had to, and I don't know what it is. I don't, and a lot of these quote unquote churchians, I know they don't know. I think heaven and hell are outside of time as we understand the realm. Oh, 100%. Yeah. And so that's why some of these, so Rebecca Bear, what I would say to that is like, be excited of what is to come from it and what can be burned from it. Like the winter kills, like Idaho doesn't have ticks and shit really. And it doesn't have a lot of like really awful things because it has a winter. You know, like it's a metaphor for everything. So the winter kills a lot of really annoying shit. So when you're in the winter, you're like, oh God, I hate the winter. Why have you forsaken me? Why'd you take all my food? But God knows more than you do. So then when spring comes, you're like, okay, it killed the dead wood. It allowed new growth. It created a society of temperance and saving and like understanding how to save eggs and cheese and meat and all this stuff. It's like, which builds family units, which builds, you know, just see it as pruning. So it's like, every time something bad happens to you and you want to get mad at God, like, why have you forsaken me? Why didn't you give me what I want a family. Why do I not have a family? Why am I alone? In these times, like I want nothing more than a family. Why don't you let me on it? There's a reason. There's like, you know, why is my wife not able to have children? Why I would be such a great mother. Like why, you know, there's a reason. And and accept it and say, when I say be fruitful and multiply, and I talk a lot about family growth and stuff, I'm not saying if you can't have a child, that's bad. That's not what I mean. It's saying if you reject children, if you say like, I'm too special to have children, like that's a problem. But every problem you have is a gift from God. You just don't see it yet. Like when you're in December in Idaho, January in Idaho, February in Idaho, you can look out at a barren wasteland with no growth, and it's freezing and your family's cold and you're running out of wood and you're like, why, God, why have you forsaken me? But then when the spring returns, you go, you had to. You didn't have to, but it's like, there's a reason for it. Because without that, like, look at how grateful when Dennis Prager deleted my videos on his site because of my opinion on Zionism, I was a little upset. I felt like I was being deleted and all this, but look at how good it is now. Look at me being kicked out of Hollywood, how good it is. At the time, there's no way I could have known because it's outside of linear time. So it's like, there'd be no Bertari Times, there'd be no Unbearables Media, there'd be no P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho 83864. There'd be no impetus for the Great Bear Trail. There'd be no motivation for Ursa Rio. None of it would exist. None of it. Yeah, that's Amazing Grace. Exactly. It's like, without what I saw, it's like, you don't think I could say, I worked for 15 years. They're hanging my picture up at the Improv. I'm touring the country for a lot of money. My wife marries me. We just had a baby. God wipes it all clean. No, I have no more job. The people that I thought I could trust betray me. I like my highly specific, very rare skill set that is, you know, I worked really hard to get is taken away. Every door is closing on me. I can't have a PayPal, even YouTube. Oh, Patreon is for all independent artists. They kick me off. They try to publicly embarrass me. I become a punchline in my old circles. You know, people in my family don't want to be associated with me. And it's like, God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you kicked me into the wilderness? Look now. Look at their world and then look at mine. Now apply and understand that when the hell is happening, you can't know the result. You're never going to know where it's going, but what you can know is it's going somewhere good. And when you have true faith and true gratitude like that, it's so good. Think about my life, right? Like I'm a living example of God's grace, where it's like, you just keep going, keep crushing. Do not deny his gifts that he's given you. My gift of comedy, of talking. I've been talking today for 2 straight hours alone on a pergola, right? That's a gift from God. How many people are watching me right now at Tea Time with Barry and Larry? 1,000 people right now are watching me talk. That's a gift from God. Piano, comedy, spell breaking. Like if I denied that and said, I'm not going to do it anymore, it's too hard. I get too many threats. Guys, they sent CPS to my house, animal control to my house, police to my house. Like, it's insane. I wouldn't be in Idaho right now if they didn't harass me with CPS and police. If I didn't get like weird bouquets of flowers with like you're gonna die and like weird shit at my house. I wouldn't have sought out a stronger community where I could know my local law enforcement, have better laws. I wouldn't be in Idaho. I wouldn't have any of the shit that is so amazing to see. So when you're getting that, why are people so mean to me? Why can't I be on YouTube? Why can't I just be an independent artist? People want to give me money. Why? Dude, they don't let me on GoFundMe. They don't let me on any of this because God is saying, build something else. This motherfucker is going down. God saved me. He wasn't torturing me. He's shutting off everything that's going to be shut off. That's so sinister. You and Amy are the parents of our century. It's not sinister. Like looking back, that's what got me into Tom Barnett and these and like Curtis Stone and a lot of these like legal guys. Like, what's my motivation for looking into whether do I have to let CPS into my house? I would never have looked into that. My motivation of having raw and pasteurized milk, if I wasn't tricked into vaccinating my kids and then feeling extremely guilty about it, you know, I wouldn't have gotten into organic farming if I didn't think there was a time when the mark of the beast wouldn't allow me to go into a grocery store. The love for my family, the love for God that gives me my family, God gives me my family. I don't give my, yeah, I'll joke and be like, I made 3 Mexicans with my dick that do all my labor. You know, I get it. It's very funny. But like, God is giving me this. And it comes from accepting horror and accepting pain. If I was mad at God for taking away all those things from me, and I didn't see it as an opportunity, even in the, that's why now things just roll off me, you know, because I know I'm working my ass off. I know I'm fucking digging and hauling and telling the truth and being good to my neighbors and all that. Whatever comes is supposed to come. I have no guilt, no shame, none of that like false fear of like, they're coming, because it's like, I'm excited. Here's how you get past the anger at God. I'm excited to what comes as a result of this hell, of like this current obstacle. Like, let's say Ursa Rio, we accomplished nothing. I have like all these people that are pissed at me because I don't have the right food. Like, we have all this like cement that just dries. It's like this monstrosity. There's a big cube of shit that I can't haul away. You know, I'm telling you, no matter what happens at Ursa Rio, like no matter things that happen, it's like all the footage from the documentary gets rained on. Everyone's mad at me. They start calling me a lie. You know, it's always good. All those fears that you could have. Like, think about what I'm doing right. So people on the internet harass me, like make false claims about me, call me. The secret is the thing. If it's a false claim, it's fine. You know if you're a scumbag. You know if you're lying. You know if you're secretly transgender and Ursa Rio is a money scam. Like, you know that. If the claim is false, it will not hurt you. And so no matter what the obstacles we face there, no matter what the potential humiliations, it will be better no matter what than if you didn't. Because I'm a community builder. I'm funny. I have an ability of making networks and stuff like that. It's like, if God gives you a gift and you don't use it, you know, that's a sin. Despair is a sin. Anger at God is a sin. Because it's like, he's helping you. He's helping you right now and you don't even know it. But you got to be honest with yourself. Are you actively pursuing? Are you mad at God because you're secretly mad at yourself? See you later. Hunting is up. Is Denmark Bear hunting? Nice. I'm breastfeeding my baby bear while live chatting in the bear saloon. Amazing. All right, let's read this. Some of these lies. Anxiety is a sin. It is. Anxiety is a sin because your body's saying move. What are you scared of? Are you scared of your own sin? And guys, I've had a lot of it. I'm not coming from a place where I don't understand these things. You know, where it's like, what is that? What is your internal telling you? Is it saying like, you're not doing something right? You should regret the past and fear the future. Why? What one of God's laws are you not pursuing? And the more you accept that it's you that's causing the anxiety, your callous nature, then the more it'll go away. I learned that from the moment of Christ's persecution. Demons lied and defamed him, and he didn't reply. Lies require no reply. Yeah, and they didn't have a right to drive a nail through his hand. So when the blood hit the ground, a great chain was released from God's children. Everyone isn't God's children, guys. Everybody in the world wasn't just like, you were shown a path, but it's like, even Jesus said, don't throw food to the dogs. I'm here for the lost children of Israel. That isn't everybody. The lost sheep of Israel. You know, he's not saying like everyone can do anything they want. Broke their own grabber rules. Right. Yeah, it's repent. Yeah, he with no sin cast the first stone, which is nobody. Now rise and sin no more. These are the sins. The baby boomers spraying the dandelions with poison always forget to tell you the part about rise and sin no more. I'm not a sinless man. I sin every day of my life. I try really hard not to. And I repent and I regret it and I just keep moving. But like, to say that you can sin, like your sins are okay. That like, oh, I just love whacking off and eating chocolate. Jesus gets it. Jesus took my wheel and whacked me. Guys, that shit is so bad. Don't use his name like that. Don't cast pearls before swine, right? It's prophesized and factual that like a lot of people are not going to be in God's kingdom. And the way to do it is through the teachings of Jesus and the laws of the Old Testament. And you might, it's just like, dude, do what you want, man. I'm just telling you what works for me. And that's why when you look at other religions and other cosmologies, like I always talk about Benjamin Ballerson. He's a wicked, honest, healthy, hardworking dude who's like an Odinist, you know? And I'm not going to point at him and say, you're going to hell. He's got great qualities. He's like a really good guy. And then you have all these like fake Christians and fucking cruising around in their private jet, you know, supporting transsexuals. And you're like, so why is Balderson worse than that guy? Like, what is it? Is because, hey, he doesn't accept Jesus Christ. Neither did you. And he's accepting Jesus way more than you because you're not listening to him. You're not allowing him to help guide you. You're literally using him as a fucking, you're nailing his hands. Like you're the one keeping him on that cross. Jesus, take the wheel while I get the BJ. Exactly. The fact it's for the few is probably why Revelations is drenched in occult symbols and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not making any claims. My dearest Big Bear, salutations from the East. It has been a busy season, but God has been good through it all. Is that loud? Is the wind loud? I'm sure it is, right? We'll get through it. John 3:8, the reason the Son of God appeared was to destroy the devil's work. Boom. Yeah, but they had, like, the devil had to overstep his bounds. That's what I think it is. I think there's a higher law because the way these people operate, like Joe Rogan is a scared little man who can't do anything. Like his money and his fake power. Audio Gary is spiraling, but we'll survive the winter. Yeah. His fake power requires a certain set of laws. He can't just do anything. Like if he's going to get lifted up by the pedestal of the God of this world, Satan, he can't tell the kids the truth. He can't say young, healthy people shouldn't get vaccines. The devil pulls his chain and says, no, bitch, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. The stream you did on isolation and torture techniques was very helpful to me. I closely relate to the subject matter and have a propensity to be a hermit. While solitude may be in my nature, I do go out of my way to help my friends and drop what I'm doing to do what needs to be done, much to my grandmother's chagrin and cold suppers. I'm very grateful for New England bears like Titty Bear, Nordic Hail Bear, and Camera Bear, whom I consider friends. They are good men, and you brought us together. Thank you. Nah, you guys brought yourself together. I just did what I'm supposed to do, which is talk about it. You're crushing, and God's giving you a sign with the... I am overwhelmed with joy because I have finally finished my medical program. This was done in my grandfather's memory and honor, and he would have wanted me to finish it. I thought he would be proud. I was approved of, well liked, and offered many opportunities to attain a high rank within the industry. But I have chosen the better portion God has provided. People often want to talk about 5G, viruses, bacteria, and how medicine will cure you. But I lean towards knowing that my God is greater than all of those things. An individual filled with God's presence can go up to a paralyzed man laid on the floor and have them walking. In the end, all honor and glory belongs to God, for we belong to him, those that are his. Yeah, totally. Totally, dude. It is truly, I was asking one of my very godly friends yesterday, I'm like, dude, because I obsess about weird shit. I'm like, so you think there's going to be a lot of death in the next year? Because I just have this number in my head, 100 million, you know? And he goes, and he just says, no one dies without God's permission. No one lives without God's protection. And I'm like, so is that like 100 million? He's like, it is truly a joyous time to live in. There's much opportunity to grow in faith. This is why I appreciate Paul from Pockets, because he puts a focus on internal world of people affecting the external. Yeah, totally. I love that about him. Where it's like your internal world like the external is reflecting of the internal. Like all these liars and scoundrels, their external world is becoming the hell of their internal world. And there's people in prison that are having a great time. All right, that's a funny skit idea. BB at the checkout counter doing small talk, then all of a sudden, so you think there's going to be a lot of death this year? Yeah, totally. Because I just keep like thinking like, how the fuck are, because you got the low, like the low income poverty people in a lot of other countries like Mexico, people are really having a problem because they don't have free government money. And, you know, without the fiat driven petrodollar, the global reserve dollar, Americans are so fucked, like these dependent ones. Because in Mexico, they don't have that. So like, if you're poor, you just like die. But in America, all these like really quote unquote privileged people are functioning in such an unhealthy, crazy, sinful, just like way that I'm like, how do you survive a full year like this? And so I don't know. I feel like poor people in America have a better shot. It's almost like inversed. Like Mexico and America have a much inverted existence, where in Mexico, super poor people will probably die from a lot of these things. You know, the minimum wage in Mexico is $5 a day. They don't have any government assistance, nothing. You know, there's cartels everywhere, and like the poor are used as like farmers for, you know, you guys get it. In America, it's almost like the poor will be given this great opportunity, and I think the wealthy die. Because, okay, look at how Mexico's inverted on rural versus urban. So poor people in America are wealthy people everywhere else. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying like rural, like people without a lot of ties to the system in America. I don't know how to put it. But I feel like it's an opportunity. Like, I feel like the big calling in America is like wealthy, quote unquote, privileged people. Because in Mexico, it's really dangerous to live in the rural areas and safe in the cities. And in America, it's the exact opposite. Like in America, the cities are like kill zones. I think they're horrible and they're going to get even worse. But if you're in the country, it's great. In Mexico, the country is filled with cartels. So they will force you to grow drugs or poppies or weed or something on your farm, and if you refuse, they kill you. And if the government comes, you go to jail. It's like really violent existence in the rural, but the cities are safe. It's really interesting. All right, that's kind of the point. Small talk is massive death. All right, anyway. In this moment, I have true peace in my heart because of Jesus Christ, and finally convinced that I can do all things through him as I carry my cross. Exactly, dude. My burden's with pure joy. Since joy is from God and he is in the heavens above, could it be that we participate in heavenly things when we rejoice in what is good before God? Yeah, exactly. In my day-to-day life, I'm continuing to gain more skills, like learning how to carve different things out of wood. Thank you, Woodshop Bear. Making lumber, tuning, and learning to play the piano. Dude, I don't even know how to tune the piano, and I've been playing since I was 2. I ponder on life, the things above and the grass below, but all praise be to God that has given the ability to do all these things with open eyes and open ears. It seems that throughout my life, God has immensely blessed me with many gifts, many of which I know I do not deserve. The only reason that comes to mind is my disposition to wanting to do good for the sake of pleasing my God. I'm firmly convinced that God cares infinitely more about what is within than what can be portrayed outwardly, and God cannot be fooled. Exactly, dude. In the book of Matthew, Jesus told a story of different laborers that were given talents and based upon how they would deal with what they were given. They were called good servants that were permitted to enter into the master's presence. The goal was always to be with the master, and the byproduct were the good works they performed with their talents. Right, the faith, yeah. Such is the deep desire of my heart, and God seems to approve. Could it be? Yeah, totally. In a similar fashion, it seems that your labor is producing much fruit that God finds pleasing. Right, that's why faith not works is another hugely manipulated thing, because it makes people think they don't need to do anything. If you have faith, you will do a lot of work. So that's why your works are so obvious when it comes to your faith, because if you're trying to please God, your works will be awesome. I don't care if you're carrying water or designing a jet engine or whatever. It's like, that's why when people go, faith not works, that's why I'm meant to be it all day. That's why I'm meant to be it all day. Faith not work. I faith, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I'm a special God. I've accepted Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Faith not works. Faith not works. It's like, if you actually had faith, you wouldn't just meant to be it all day. Faith means you want to do works, right? That's why you can judge people sometimes on faith. You will be known by your fruits. Are you doing anything helpful to anybody? No? Faith not works. That's why I'm meant to be it all day. That's why I'm meant to be. He said something crucial. God cannot be fooled. Yeah, totally. It's like you can't fool God. But I didn't mean to be it all day. And I stare at my Bitcoin. Guys, the reason Bitcoin is immoral, and once you understand this, you can't really go back. Someone else has to lose for you to gain. All your gains from Bitcoin means someone else made the mistake of buying Bitcoin. It has no value in reality. Oh, just take fiat. You can lie to yourself all you want. Once you understand this concept, there's no real going back. Someone else has to lose for you to make money. All right. So if you want to say that I don't understand the future and blah, 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 God knows this shit. I'm meant to be there today. All right, Nancy says, hey, BB, wanted to ask your opinion on the concept of a soul incarnating back to Earth to live through past mistakes and to become a better soul. I watch Pockets of the Future, and he talks about it. Thank you. Yeah, I sometimes think that that's a possibility, which is infinitely more not anti-Christian, but just like, that's more separated from Christianity than me not believing in the Trinity. And yet I get no backlash. It's weird at what people care about. Yeah, I sometimes think that. I don't know. I don't know what happens when we die. But I know our souls are eternal. I know we don't disappear. I know we're judged in a way by God. I know that there's, all kinds of, sometimes I feel that way. I feel like some of the Hindu concepts of samskara and all that is really, really interesting. It kind of resonates with me. We're like, I don't know though. I don't know if there's other dimensions or other existences we can have. I don't know. I know that there is like trauma or something that we have from somewhere else that we have to get through in this world. And that maybe the next time, I don't know, I'm not going to make any claims, but yeah, there's something there for me. I don't know about you guys. What do you think about how Satan's job was over music when he was an angel, and does he use it against us now? Yeah, he definitely uses it against us now. The music industry is the most satanic industry in America, even more, I think, than porn. I think it's more directly satanic. I know, oh, how dare you? Porn's too obvious. It's obviously bad to a point where it's like, I don't know. It's the music industry in America is so like devious and like it's so hard to see what they're doing too. But it's so like it's a rhetorical powerhouse to get people to do bad shit. I'm Christian because I do my best to follow Jesus' example, even though I mess it up plenty of times. Exactly. That's what makes you a Christian. The church may have removed some knowledge of reincarnation for control. Yeah, I'm not even interested in placing blame or making claims that I can't back up. It's like there's something about reincarnation that resonates with me, and that's where I'll end it. If Jesus is my King, Savior, and friend, why wouldn't I want to share or at least gain a personal understanding of this matter? I think being able to participate in both the joy and path of someone you care about is what creates a true relationship and bond. Similar in the way of how many bears, like Kyneton Bear is an example, that were with you through the many phases of joy and pain you have gone through in your life. Yeah, exactly. Pain bonds people. Joy also appears to be not without sacrifice arrows. Yeah, and I will say this, like the music industry making the vibration of music 440 instead of 432 is clearly an act of war, right? 440 agitates the cells in the body. 432 gives you peace. The Babylon Bee just posted about dandelions. They're watching. Fucking Babylon Bee. Of course they're watching. They're a busy little bee. Unbearable's media is way better though. By the way, the Mexican cartels are big into avocados these days. Yeah, I mean, they'll just become the new governments. And they're more, I mean, the cartels are more fair than a lot of the corrupt governments. I mean, there's no separation in Mexico between the cartels and the governments, but I'm just saying, like, one of the many pitfalls in Mexico is being a country farmer. The cartels will make, like, the interesting thing about America is the fact it's not illegal to grow weed in a lot of states and stuff. It actually helps farmers not be taken over by cartels. All right, the bee is fast. Well, I talk about dandelions a lot. I've talked about how they grow through cracks and, you know, yeah, the fucking Babylon Bee. Piano request. Could you please play the Hawaiian version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow? I will in my next piano stream. When you do a piano stream, yeah. Peace be with you and your family, Big Bear. Most of all, thank you for what you do, the encouragement and bravery. Awesome. You're the man. Great letter. Shall we continue? We see you, Babylon Bee. Babylon Bee is like, bzzz, bzzz, I'm a Babylon Bee. Zzz. Oh, buzz, buzz. Oh, Israel's at it again. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I'm just a bee. Buzz. Israel's the only moral army in the world. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Okay, Babylon Bee. We know who's buttering your biscuits, Babylon Bee. It's Dennis Prager. Dennis Prager, the penis dragger. Dennis Prager, the penis dragger's coming in hot. Hi, everyone. I'm Dennis Prager. I'm a retard. Babylon Bee hired HuffPost writers that have zero creativity and have to steal honey from... Buzz, buzz, buzz. I'm a bee. Dear Owen, I'm a 28-year-old. My friend introduced me to your stream earlier this year and said, just listen to Owen Benjamin. I gave it a shot and I've been hooked since. I'm grateful for the stream. I can relate to everything you say. About 6 years ago, I had a friend who was an older woman. She was like an angel who would get messages from above. She was my mother's aunt's caretaker, and when she met my mom, she started saying all these facts about me without us even meeting. So I had to eventually meet this person. She was very spiritual and would talk about crazy things in the world like the moon being hollow, chemtrails, pedophilia, Akashic record. She passed away 3 years ago, and she was found in her bed with blood everywhere. I remember she would tell me people were after her. I just thought she was crazy, but when she passed away, I knew something else was up. I had so much to ask her and learn from her before she was gone. Anyway, I'm happy to be connected with another intellectual. I wouldn't call myself an intellectual, but okay, so this is America. I had a similar past years. I've lived in Los Angeles for most of my life, and since a kid, I've always had the problem with having sex with so many women. I really need to hear your stream last week about narcissists and empaths. It was very much in sync with my life. These past few months, I was falling in love with a girl that I used to date when I was 20, and she just broke my heart again after telling me she wants to see other people. There was literally nothing I did wrong. Even her friend said you did everything right. I already experienced this bullshit from her when we were younger, and I knew in the back of my end she could do this again. This girl is 29 and jumps from guy to guy and does the same thing with her friends, jumping from one friend to another. Yeah, my question is, why do you want to be with her? You know she sucks. I get it though. I get it. But I'm just trying to give you a little pep talk. It's like, why would you want to marry a girl who jumps from friend to friend? Like just constantly jumping. I understand now that narcissists are just empaths who haven't solved their past traumas. She literally took advantage of my kindness and screwed up my head. When you show these women true affection, they slowly push you away because they're so used to hurting themselves. Being alpha and an empath myself, I just want to guide her and show her new perspective. Right, but see, you have a weakness. Don't take away your responsibility in this. You wanted to guide her. And if she doesn't want you to, you have to respect that, and you can't be mad at her for that. If she wants you to guide her, she wouldn't want to be with other guys. You know what I'm saying? And so don't act like she's like, because the empath and the narcissist can form a battery. It's like the Jew and the Catholic. Oh, everyone's trying to hurt me. We're in the pit. Oh, watch my pornos. Only through us do you get to God. We have the Vatican. We are the best. Call us daddy. I don't call anybody daddy. I'm just a dirty boy. That's a dirty boy. You're a bad dad, right? So the narcissist and the empath says, I just want to help. She's hurting me because I'm so kind. And the narcissist's like, get the fuck away from me. You know, she's not going to, yeah, you're doing it to yourself and she's doing it to, like, she might end up in a good relationship. You know, like, Amy's broken a couple guys' hearts. Imagine if they were like, oh, she's never going to be happy. You know, I was the best thing that ever happened to her, blah, blah. It's like, Amy's like, no, actually, I'm super happy. I'm with this guy that's just crushing so hard. He makes it, you know, he makes it impossible to not love him. I'm being hard on you because I've been here. I mean, not specifically there, but funny. I've never really had that with women as much, but I've had it with male friends. Like, I've been the empath to a narcissist before with male friendships. And, yeah, I'm like, oh, he's using my kindness. He's using me. I was doing it too. Like, why didn't I see that they were up to no good? He was black. Eric Nimmer was black. And I refused to see the color of his skin. You know, I have this opener who tells me he has cancer, steals all his money from me. I'm like complaining about it. I'm like, oh, he used my kindness. How did I not see that he was black? Like, I couldn't even see the color of his skin. And it was in front of me the whole time. Of course he's going to steal. He's black. So my kindness was me deluding myself. Like, oh, I can make this black guy act like a white guy. Oh, I'm so great. A lot of the empaths are like, they feel like they're so great. Like, I could make a black man a white man. You can make a whore a housewife, right? Like, I looked at Eric Nimmer and I'm like, I'm going to make him white. And he's like, no, nigga, I steal. And it's like, and I'm like, I just saw right through it. I couldn't even see what was right in front of me. A black guy And I'm like, oh no, he's not going to steal. And everyone's like, dude, he's black. He's lying and stealing. And I'm like, how dare you? When he's with me, he's great. He's a really good guy. All you see is his dirty black skin. I see a funny dude who had my back once. They're like, he was grifting. You're famous. He wasn't famous. He wanted what you had. He's grifting your audience. I'm like, no. When I look at Eric, I see white. I don't see black. And they're like, he's black. Of course, it turns out, stole everything. You know, he stole. And he was short. He was a short black guy. And I didn't see his height. I didn't see his skin. I was colorblind. What makes someone stupid enough to be colorblind? Because the empath, quote unquote, has a weird narcissism too, where it's like, I can save him. I can save him from his own skin. No. I can save him from his own height. BB puts on the They Live glasses and the double M's become double G's. I don't know what that means. Double M's. Double G's. So many signs. Oh. Dying laughing. Oh, nice, Printer Bear. Yeah, what I'm saying is very funny. For autistic people, I mean, there's truth to what I'm saying, obviously. Like, Eric Nimmer is a short black man who stole from me. I thought that because of my love and kindness, he would become a white person. But Nimmer, yeah, Nimmer has 2 M's, 2 G's. Right, good one, Guyton. Yeah, Eric Nimrod. And my audience liked him for a bit, and then after a while, they're like, I think he's up to no good, Big Bear. And I'm like, you're just saying that because he's black and short. And they're like, no, he's acting black and short. And I'm like, and I had all this loyalty to him, but it's because I felt I was pulling him out of his black hell of stealing and lying. They never turn white. They never turn white. All right. Like, no matter how hard you try, it's like, oh, I don't see color. Okay. Start seeing color. Because, don't get me wrong, you can have some half blacks like Bowler Bear. He's not stealing. He's contributing. I fell for the detailed stories. Yeah, me too. All my friends were like, Big Bear, he's short and black. He's trying, he's stealing. And I'm like, yeah, Bowler Bear just said that guy crushes. Yeah, because in the black community, ask Bowler Bear, like hardcore, like alpha type criminality is seen as like awesome. You know, when you steal a bike, the other blacks are like, nice. It's as if being blinded by our own vanity. Yeah. Quote unquote empathy can be blinding by your own vanity. I've had that where I'm like, why would this girl not love me? I'm the best. And you see what I'm saying? It's like, maybe she doesn't like something about you. Stealing bikes is crushing, says Over the Rainbow Bear. Owen starting out across Bertaria, wind blowing on his last day, quietly whispers, they never go white. No, they don't. It's like, you got it when you're dealing with a black, you got to ask yourself, is he trying to inch toward the bike? Is what he's saying actually make sense? Have you actually met his family? You know, I'm like that. I don't know. For me, the heartache is not female. It was always like male. Oh, that means you're gay. No, it was like male friendships where people use me. Because I've been crushing for a long time. So it's like they treat you like you're like awesome and you're like, oh, great. And then they like just, I don't know. Thank you for everything you've done for the community and for reading my letter. P.S. may be verified as Boulder Bear. Welcome, Boulder Bear. Keep pushing that boulder, baby. But just remember, they never go back. They never become white people. I'll vouch for the other half of me. Good, Boulder Bear. Imagine being in mainstream comedy right now. I couldn't have done that theme right there. I would have had to not do that hilarious joke I just did. You know, like that joke just made a lot of people laugh. And if I was in mainstream comedy, I could not have been like, he's black. I mean, think about how much that would suck. Like Joe Rogan and all these people, like they can't do that joke. Dave Chappelle can't admit what he is anymore. He used to be able to. He used to talk about like babies smoking weed in Baltimore and how disgusting his people are. And now it's like, oh, 8-minute 46-second, massa. That's how long you kneeled on Mr. George Floyd. And everyone's like, so brave. He's dying to be like Barricade and admit what the DC area blacks are all about. They're all about getting that pussy on that hang down. They're all about stealing that bike and stealing and stealing. Yeah, Dave Chappelle used to talk about how babies, like, man, nigga, I got kids to feed. I'm like, you a baby? You selling drugs on the corner? And he's like, nigga, I got my babies are having babies, right? He's doing jokes about how disgusting they are. And blacks would laugh because they knew it was true. Whites would laugh because they knew it was true. And everybody could look at each other and be like, oh, so you know you're disgusting. That's okay. We don't have to put you in jail or round you up. Now it's like, oh, killing himself, he was his peak. Exactly. And he's talking about how, you know, white dudes can talk to cops, but he's just like acts like a scared prey animal because he's black. He's like, you know how he gets pulled over and the white guy's like, hey, officer, you know, I've had a few to drink and I'm just trying to, and Dave Chappelle's like, right? He's explaining why the cops shoot them because they act like crazy, anxious people who just committed a crime. Gee, Dave, what would you do if you were a cop? If, like, you pull over a guy who's like, oh, right? Meanwhile, the whites are not committing crimes, so we talk to cops like they're people. We're like, oh, hey, man, what's going on? Do you know how fast you're going? No, I don't. Wow, what's going on? Oh, you're going a little fast. Clocked you back. A black guy'd be like, there's no crap. Fuck you, pig. Oh, Jesus. And try to stab him. And then the cop's like, you know, bang, bang, bang. And everyone's like, oh, it's because of his skin. No, he just committed a crime and was acting nervous. Why do you think whites get along with cops so well? Because we're not criminals. It's like, nigga, my hands were not on the wheel because I was reaching for my gun. But that white man shot me because of my black skin, not because I was attempting to shoot him with my pistol. Okay, well, if you want to keep going down that road, I will be checking off. Just keep your hands on the wheel. I keep my hands on the wheel if I'm pulled over. I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Just hanging out. Black people are like, oh, bang, 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 bang. And then they're like, why'd that cop react to me? He's Dave Chappelle. That situation has never happened to him. He got paid to read the jokes. His hand was... No, back then he was poor. Dude, Dave Chappelle... No, he wasn't. Good point, Woodshop Bear. Dave Chappelle's been famous since he was like 15. He knows that cops don't fuck with rich people. What a liar. Chappelle used to be funny, no more. Yeah. BB, this stream is one of those legendary 3-hour ones. I've been doing 3 hours a while. I gotta go. All right, any final super chats? If you enjoyed the stream, entropystream.live/app/ownbenjamin.comedy. Is it me or is this character going in and out of black, Chinese, Southern, plantation, white? Yeah. Oh, you pull me over. I black man who talk like China man. Oh, I go pee-pee in your car. Me Chinese. Me play joke. Me taking over your economy. You go broke. Could it be he was a drama club like Tuna? He was telling his cousin's story? I don't know. No, he was telling it from a first person. Thanks, Owen. You crushed it today. Anytime. I'm just checking in with COD, making sure I'm not... If anybody tips the Piano Man, I'm not going to, like, not read it. It's, like, one of the things. BB and Christian Beard Gravy. Love you all. Keep crushing it. You as well. So, again, send your local Bertaria videos to... why didn't they laugh at gmail.com? Oh, subscribe to unauthorized.tv where these streams always live. Bertaria Times app, bertariatimes.com, unbearablesmedia.com to get all your great Unbearable media. Oh, here we go. Final super chats. Unbearable's merchandise for an allegedly hoodie. I'm black, but my quarter white keeps me away from the bikes. Thanks, Louisiana Black Bear. You do know that I do know moral black people. I'm just being funny. Dramatic irony, the person saying it doesn't understand. Yeah, I get it. Like, I don't actually think all black people are immoral. I just think they have tendencies, especially when they're short. Bear Razor says the only black that ever turned white was Michael Jackson. It's a good point, and he's also a pedophile. Whites have their own criminalities. I'm not saying that whites have more like white cucking is way worse than bike theft. I would take a black bike thief all day long over like whites cucking. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I fucked my wife. I'm going to wear rubber gloves and test myself in my anus for coronavirus. Like, I swear to God, I find that way more disgusting. All right. Support the YouTube mirror channels wherever you see this. Subscribe to bitchute.com/Owen Benjamin. All the Telegram spots, gab.com/Owen Benjamin. P.O. Box 490, Sandpoint, Idaho, 83864. Thanks, Boulder Bear and Ukrainian Bear, for the letters today. I really appreciate that. It was very generous and very insightful. Be fruitful and multiply. Don't be fruity and blow a guy. Yeah, at least bike theft is high tea. Exactly. Me Chinese. I climb mountain ridges. Hang on. Me Chinese. I climb mountain ridges. Collapsing dollar means I own all your bridges. Oh, Jesus, Connington Bear. Me Chinese. Me collapse dollar. Me collapse dollar with Bitcoin. Autistic people buy Bitcoin because they think it's a video game. Meanwhile, it's owned by Chinese businessman. Now you no longer have global reserve currency, and you become poor like Chinese man. I hope you listen to Big Bear and got yourself skill and greenhouse and family, because Chinese businessman gonna make autistic people buy Bitcoin, fueled by greed and lust and envy. Now, oh, no more dollar for you. Oh, no more dollar for you. Now you poor person, but you got Bitcoin. Oh, your Bitcoin worth $1 million? Now your $1 million can't buy bread. Oh, you didn't see that coming? Because you evil wicked man. You evil wicked man. We kill all girl. We kill girl baby. We kill bull baby. Oh, me Chinese. Me Chinese, me play dog. Me kill 100 million Chinese girl baby. Because we try to manage our own population. But now our population is falling, and we're going to have real problem because we didn't have enough baby. And now we masturbating. We masturbating to Jewish movie. The Jewish movie gets sent to Chinese man, and we masturbate our tiny little penis all day long. Oh, we go to Mars. We play joke like NASA play. Look, we now on Mars. We fly helicopter on Mars. Look at Mars. We on Mars. You only on Moon. We take Jewish ability to grapple our imagination with Steven Spielberg. We pay him billion of Bitcoin. Bitcoin don't mean nothing, not a real thing. Bitcoin is a joke. It's a circus ride. Bitcoin, there's a whole chapter in Bitcoin in that South Jew, Art of War. We make your own we make your mask, you wear face diaper. In China, we don't wear mask no more. No, there wasn't no ban in Wuhan wet market. You so stupid. White round-eyed man, fire their own comedian for making fun of man who put you in mad and anal swab your anus. I anal swab your anus. Gonna get BNL banned again? It doesn't matter. We'll just go to the next one. Onward. So this has been Tea Time with Barry and Larry. Enjoy your tea out there as they sail the seas of sodomies. Be fruitful and multiply. Don't be fruity and vulgar. Oh, I know, bro, man, because nobody in China have penis. In China, man only have clitoris. Clitoris, not penis. Our penis no go past our pube. Our pube hide our penis because they're clitoris. We kill a lot of Chinese boy when born because we thought they girl. Turns out they just had really small penis.